मिलती नहीं है ना।
पर प्राइवेट नौकरी वो मिल जाती है?
वो भी नहीं मिलती, कर लेते पर जुगाड़ लग जाती है।
कहीं को कॉलेज में जा रहा, कहीं को कहीं जा रहा, यहाँ से हो तो रही है,
मजदूरी कर रहा। हाँ,
मतलब पढ़े लिखे बच्चे भी जिन्होंने 12वीं किया हुआ या कॉलेज किया हुआ वो मजदूरी कर रहे हैं।
10वीं 12वीं सब ऐसे ही कर रहा है।
कोई ने डेयरी खोल ली दूध की, ऐसे ही करता।
अब का करे कुछ धंधो तो करेगा भी।
ये बताइए, थोड़े दिनों पहले शिवराज सिंह चौहान जो जिनको आप सब लोग मामा जी कहते हैं, उन्होंने एक लाडली बहना योजना शुरू की थी। उसका कितना लाभ मिलता है आपको? मिलता है कुछ पैसा आता?
हमें नहीं मिले, बिल नहीं मिले, तो मिले नहीं, अपने पेंशन मिलेगी तो अभी तो मिले ही नहीं, तो अभी नहीं मिली तुमने फॉर्म नहीं भरो। अभी सबको जो कर रहा।
अच्छा, आपको नहीं
नहीं मिली,
आपको अभी तक पैसा नहीं
मिली,
पर आपको मिला है?
हमें सब मिल रहा है, पेंशन मिल रही है हमरे काज, और ये लाडली बहना नहीं मिल रहा है पैसा।
आपको जी मिल रहा है लाडली बहना?
हमें 600 रुपए मिल रहे हैं।
कितने आते हैं? 1250 आते हैं। और आप लोगों के बैंक अकाउंट में आते हैं?
जी।
अच्छा, बीच में ये बात कही गई थी कि वो 1250 रुपए जो है वो बढ़ा दिए जाएंगे, तो आपको इस बारे में उम्मीद है कि बढ़ जाएगा या इतने में?
तो पहले 1000 आया, 1200 हो गए।
नहीं, अब लगता तो नहीं है कि बढ़ पाएंगे।
आपको नहीं लगता?
नहीं,
पर आपको उम्मीद है कि बढ़ना चाहिए?
बढ़ना चाहिए, मगर अब देखते हैं क्या होता है।
अच्छा, ये जो पैसा आपके अकाउंट में आता है, महिलाओं के खाते में पैसा आता है, तो इससे कितना फर्क पड़ जाता है?
तब में पेंशन मिला ही कहाँ, मैं किसके दूंगा?
आपको मिला ही नहीं है?
नहीं मिलेगा, नहीं मुफ्त मिल रही भाई, 600 रुपए
मिल रहा है, तो उससे कितना फर्क पड़ जाता है? 600 रुपए से क्या करती हैं
आप? कछु भी कर लो, अपना जर्दा सुपारी खा ले, अपनी मोड़ी आ गई, मोड़ी की साड़ी दिवा दे, ब्लाउज दिवा दी, और जो काम हो तो पेंशन तो मिले।
तो आपको इन कामों के लिए फिर घर में जो भी मर्द हैं आपके उनसे मांगना पड़ता है?
हाँ, वो घर मर दीजिएगा, और कौन
उनसे मांगना पड़ता है? हाँ? अच्छा,
बहू है ही।
तो अच्छा, मतलब अपने अकाउंट में, अपने खाते में पैसा रहे तो खाता चलाना आ जाएगा?
तो चलेगा, हाँ सब चलाना आप चलेगा, पैसे ही नहीं है तो कौन से चलेगा।
अच्छा, दूसरा ये बताइए, एक और योजना सरकार ने चलाई थी घर बनाने की, प्रधानमंत्री जी के नाम पे घर बन रहे थे, जिनके कच्चे मकान थे उनके घर पक्के हो गए थे। उसका फायदा इस गाँव में कितना हुआ है?
कछु भी नहीं है, गाँव में तो बिल्कुल एक टपरिया नहीं बनी सरकार तैयार से। हाँ,
आपका भी नहीं बना?
हाँ, इस गांव में कुछ नहीं हुआ।
2-3 वक्त फार्म भरवा है, कछु भी नहीं है लाभ मिला।
तो जब आप लोग जाएंगे वोट करने के लिए, या जो नेता लोग आएंगे आपसे कहेंगे अम्मा वोट दे देना हमको, चाहे जिस भी पार्टी का हो, तो आप लोग उनसे ये सवाल करेंगे?
कर हम डरे हैं कोई से? हाँ, हम तो गांव के सरपंच से नहीं डरे, उनसे भी कह दें हम तो।
आप बताइए, उनसे सवाल करेंगे कि भाई आपने हमारे नाम पे इतनी योजनाएं प्रधानमंत्री ने चालू की, मुख्यमंत्री ने चालू की, बट हमको तो कुछ मिला नहीं? आप ये पूछेंगे अपने लोगों जो आएंगे वोट मांगने?
मैम पूछा था तो सही है, अभी वो रामेश्वर शर्मा जी आए थे जब, तो उन्होंने बताया कोई बताता नहीं है गाँव में, ये योजना आती है ना, जिसको बताना चाहिए वो बताता ही नहीं है। यहाँ पे पता है होता है कुछ बात का, कुछ का पता ही नहीं होता।
पुट्टी का फार्म भरे, अभी कुछ नहीं है।
आपको मालूम है आपके प्रधानमंत्री आज आ रहे हैं आपके भोपाल में? मालूम है आपको?
नहीं, हमें नहीं है मालूम।
नहीं मालूम?
कहाँ से मालूम होगा?
एक्सरे कर देंगे, दूध का दूध, पानी का पानी हो जाएगा।
ये अर्बन नक्सल की सोच आपका मंगलसूत्र भी बचने नहीं देंगे।
इंदिरा गांधी ने जब जंग हुई थी अपना सोना देश को दिया, मेरी माँ का मंगलसूत्र इस देश को कुर्बान हुआ है।
ജയിലിൽ നിന്ന് കേട്ടാൽ നിങ്ങളെ അശോക് ചവാനെ പോലെ അയ്യോ ഞാൻ എനിക്ക് അങ്ങോട്ട് പോകാൻ കഴിയില്ല.
अब केरला के लोग भी कह रहे हैं अब की बार 400 पार।
Every vote to the ADF is vote to the BJP.
Namaste, Jai Hind, ladies and gentlemen, and it is just one clarion call, a request, urge, go vote. Phase 2 of the Lok Sabha Elections 2024. We are here bright and early here at our CNN News 18 fantastic studios that we've set up for the battle for Bharat. With me, Rahul Shivshankar, Zaka Jacob. But first up, ladies and gentlemen, our humble request to you is go out and vote. There's a 4.4% dip compared to the last time around in Phase 1 2019 vis-a-vis Phase 1 2024. We need this to go up. All of us together, we need to step out of our homes, beat the heat and go ahead and cast your ballot. The clock is ticking. 11 hours from now as voting gets underway across the 13 states and union territories that are in the mix today, across the 88 Lok Sabha seats. Let's signpost what is important and what we need to look out for today, ladies and gentlemen, before we get talking with Zaka and with Rahul Shivshankar. Most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, this is Phase 2. Phase 2, perhaps the second largest after Phase 1, which had 102 seats. 102 seats in the state. Now let's look at how many seats this time around. One seat in Betul has been pushed from Phase 2 into Phase 3. Let's try and look. Now this is what is signposting it. 88 seats in Phase 2, 7 phase polls. This is Phase 2, and this is across 13 states and union territories that get into the mix this time. 1,206 candidates in the fray. But it's the number of voters. If it was 16 point some voters the first time in Phase 1, it is 15.88 voters, nearly 16 crore voters, and 35 lakh first time voters. 3.28 crore voters are between 20 and 29. Imagine, that's the big number. And they all need to go out and vote. 5 union ministers are in the fray. Shobha Karnalaje, Rajiv Chandrasekhar. We have Gajendra Singh Shekhawat. 5 union ministers in the fray. And BJP defending in 52 of the 88 seats this time around. In fact, if you minus the 20 of Kerala, they have a heady strike rate. Will they make gains? Will they retain? Big question. 21 seats where the BJP has actually changed the sitting MP. 21 seats where they've changed the sitting MP. So they've read that there is a sense of anti-incumbency with a local leader. They've tried to counter it. Is it going to yield result? Single phase poll for all 20 Kerala seats. Only one for the LDF the last time around. What will happen this time? We have to wait and watch. BJP open account in Kerala. Will the LDF gain ground? Last time around it was the UDF that held sway across the 20 seats of Kerala, except for one that went to the LDF. Now, NDA versus Congress in 14 of the 28 South Karnataka seats. It's a direct fight between BJP plus JDS combined vis-a-vis the Congress and its allies in these 14 seats. What's going to happen? So Karnataka, Kerala, there's a bit of a rumble in Maharashtra too. We'll talk about that. Zaka Jacob has got everything plotted on that magic wall with some extra magic packed in. Zaka, 4.4% dip compared to the Phase 1 2019.
I absolutely
Phase
think
1
that
2024.
voter turnout is going to be critical, because from the Prime Minister downwards, the Home Minister, they've all been urging voters to come out and vote. Whether it's the heat, whether it's complacency, keep that at home. Go out and cast your franchise. Let's tell you what's at stake in this second phase. It's 88 seats across 13 different states. The BJP is defending 52 out of those 88 seats. That's a strike rate of 60%. Let's start from north to south. There's the Jammu seat in Jammu and Kashmir. There are 8 seats in Western UP. The BJP is defending 7 out of these 8 seats. There are 13 seats in Rajasthan. BJP defending all 13 seats. This is the southern part of Rajasthan, the Mewar and Marwar region, and the BJP needs to turn up the numbers here. In Phase 1 in Rajasthan, there was significant dips in voter turnout. 6 seats in the Rewa Panna region of Madhya Pradesh, BJP defending all 6 seats. In Maharashtra, very interesting, Anand was talking about this a moment ago, 8 seats going to polls, BJP defending just 3. The old Shiv Sena, the Uddhav Sena, had 3. The NCP won, and Navneet Rana, who was an independent back then, now a BJP member, she's defending the seat of Amravati. The critical state of Karnataka, the only sunshine state for the BJP in the south, 14 seats are going to polls today. Southern Karnataka, this is the Vokkaliga, Old Mysore belt, a direct test of whether the JDS-BJP alliance on the ground is working. Last time, the BJP had 11 out of 14. They also had the seat of Mandya, which was won by the independent MP Sumalata Ambarish. She's now a BJP member, but she's not fighting from there. Former Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy is fighting. And then, of course, in the deep south, God's own country. Can the BJP open its account in any of these 20 seats in Kerala? Rahul Shivshankar thinks they can. Can they?
Look, fundamentally, it comes down to, especially in Kerala, I think it comes down to the manner in which the left will begin to impact the Congress vote. I think there's been a lot of acrimony. We didn't see it in the last election. I think this time that will be a fundamentally determining factor. But if you really look at the calculus there of vote shares, etc., the Congress is comfortably placed. It will be worried. Remember, if you remove Kerala from the equation, the Congress then only has 2 seats, really, to claim its own in this entire phase of 88.
In fact, let's just look at that number. If you look at just the Congress's number, out of those 18 seats, the only 2 other seats, 16 are from Kerala. There's 1 seat, of course, from Bangalore Rural, which is DK Suresh's seat. That is Bangalore Rural, just on the outskirts of the city. There's 1 seat in Bihar, Kishanganj, and there is 1 seat in Assam, which is Nowgang, where the current state president, Pradyut Bordoloi, is fighting. It's a critical seat because there was this fight between him and Gaurav Gogoi. Gaurav Gogoi had to change his constituency, but Nowgang is again a prestige seat. So Rahul Shivshankar is right. There are only 3 seats out of this 18 that are outside of Kerala. The rest of them are here.
Now, if we turn that around, if you minus the 20 seats of Kerala, look at how much of defense the BJP is doing this time around. They are under huge pressure because they have a healthy strike rate. It's 52 or 55 seats out of the 68, if my memory serves me right. From the last time around, if you minus Kerala, they have to play defense there, and it is from there that they have changed 21 MPs. So that means the BJP is facing a certain level of anti-ban, Karnataka specifically.
Yes. So let me give you a statistic.
Quite a lot of hot water
add
there
to this. There are margin seats, 7 of them that the BJP won by the slimmest wafer thin, and these are, and you can plot them on your map, Meerut in Uttar Pradesh, Nowgang in Assam, Kanker in Chhattisgarh, Charamraj Nagar and Tumkur in Karnataka, Alapura and Palakkad in Kerala. So these are the seats where it's wafer thin. The BJP won Chamarajanagar, Meerut and of course Kanker by 0.14%. 0.39% and 0.6%. Additionally, there are 24 more swing seats where the BJP has only won twice out of 3 elections, general elections, and a lot of them, as Anand was saying, are in Karnataka. So this is a close contest. Don't make the mistake to assume that because the BJP goes in with dominance, it is going to retain those seats.
But
there is a problem. Turnout is crucial.
No, the fact is it was like a bland khichdi and the PM tried to add some tadka soon after phase 1 because it just looked like there was nothing to enthuse the cadre and the voter.
Because of these wafer thin
and he's just
majorities.
tweeted, just quickly bringing in the election breaking here at CNN News 18, and it is Prime Minister Narendra Modi urging people to go out and cast their vote. He's telling everybody, go out and cast your vote. He said we need record number turnout. The more the voting, the stronger it will be, our democracy will be. That's what he has come out and said. Amit Shah, Union Home Minister, has also now come out and tweeted, again urging people to go ahead and exercise the right to vote, saying choose a strong government, choose the path of development, priorities of development, and he said that choose leaders and a party and a government that ensures security at the border, restores heritage and makes powerful decisions in national interest. So he's pitching quasi for his party, but he's telling people, go out and vote. And that's exactly what we are saying, ladies and gentlemen. Go out and vote. Zaka, let's focus on Karnataka. How critical is it, this entire combine of the BJP, JDS, and it's been quite a bit of a flux there. And Karnataka voter turnouts haven't been very, very healthy.
Absolutely, particularly in Bengaluru, because last time around was barely 50%. So if you're watching this broadcast in the city of Bengaluru, we love you all, but please go out and vote because your city deserves a better voter turnout than under 50%. It's a Friday. I know it's a long weekend. I know Coorg is very tempting, but please don't. Go vote and then do whatever else you need to do. I just want to explain why Karnataka is critical. Southern Karnataka is the bastion of the JDS. It's the old Mysuru region, it's the Vokkaliga belt. And for me, these 3 seats, which are the ones that the BJP did not win out of the 14 last time around, that's Hassan, Mandya and Bangalore rural. In all 3 seats, it is a family member of Mr. Devegowda's family who's fighting. In Hassan, the sitting MP Prajwal Revanna, he's Mr. Devegowda's grandson. He's facing a tough fight. It's a 3rd generation fight in the seat of Hassan between Prajwal Revanna and a gentleman called Shreyas Patel. He's the son of he's the grandson of Puttaswamy Gowda. Puttaswamy Gowda, in fact, has had a long-standing 3-decade-old fight, in fact 4-decade-old fight with Devegowda. Of course, Mr. Devegowda prevailed in that fight, so the 2 grandsons are fighting in that seat. The neighbouring seat of Mandya, we all know about this. Sumalata Ambarish, the widow of late Ambarish, the famous actor and then turned Congress politician. She won last time as an independent candidate. The BJP backed her. Now she has joined the BJP, but she's not got that seat. This gentleman has. This is H.D. Kumaraswamy, former chief minister, the scion of Mr. Devegowda. He's fighting in that neighboring seat. And the 3rd seat, again a prestige battle. D.K. Suresh is the brother of the current deputy chief minister, D.K. Shivkumar. He's taking on Devegowda's son-in-law, Dr. C.N. Manjunath. Of course, Dr. Manjunath is fighting on a BJP symbol. But these 3 seats, to me, will define whether this phase and this alliance, JDS-BJP, is actually working on the ground.
Now, frankly, what also happened is in phase 1, if you look at it, Zaka and Rahul, it was the Bihar numbers, the 3 seats, that really pulled the overall national average down, because just about 49% turnout in Bihar. Now, this is the trouble. Phase 1 in 2019 and 2024, if you were to compare this, ladies and gentlemen, why we've been saying there's a difference of 4.4%. So, if there's a difference of 4.4%, then that means a sizable number of people have not come out to vote despite the voter base increasing. And that's the reason why we are saying this has to be maintained in phase 2. You have to get up to that 70% number so that it's a sizable turnout. Bihar also makes it very interesting. Let's just look at Bihar, Zaka, and is Purnia polling today?
Yeah, Purnia is polling today.
Purnia is a story in itself. Pappu Yadav, Bhima Bharti.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a high-profile battle. Bihar is critical this phase, particularly for the JDU, because in the 5 seats that are going to polls today, the JDU is defending 4 of them. They have to turn out the goods today, because if the JDU vote, and remember, there are, I think the split this time is 16 JDU, 17 BJP. 4 of those seats, the JDU that they won last time around, they're going to polls, including that of Purnia, where Bhima Bharti, one of the high-profile candidates, is taking on Pappu Yadav. Pappu Yadav had formerly joined the Congress. He was not given the Purnia ticket. Now he's fighting as an independent. There's also the neighboring seat of Katihar, where, of course, Tariq Anwar of the Congress is taking on Dulal Chandra Goswami of the JDU. There is the lone Congress seat, which is the Kishanganj seat, which they won last time. And then you have Bhagalpur. So this is the belt, the eastern Bihar belt, where really they need to turn out the goods, and particularly more than the BJP, this phase is absolutely critical for the JDU. And Anand is 100% right. Last phase, in phase 1 in Bihar, there was anywhere between a 4 to 8 percentage point dip in voter turnout. We don't know what the reason for that is. You can speculate. It's heat, it's complacency. Maybe the BJP voter didn't turn out. Maybe the JDU voter did not turn out. But this phase, the JDU, more than the BJP, absolutely critically needs its voter to turn out and vote their MPs back.
Yes, in fact, Tejasvi Yadav has turned around and said in Purnia, he very specifically went out and said, either vote for us, that is the Congress UP Mahagathbandhan, or you go ahead and vote for the NDA. Openly saying don't vote for Pappu Yadav. Pappu Yadav, who was once considered the strong man of Lalu Yadav. That's the story. Now we're getting multiple pictures also. We are talking Kerala. This is Ashok Gehlot in Rajasthan. Earlier it was Rajiv Chandrasekhar going to the Palli, or that is the church, and then he has also gone to the Ambalam, that is the temple. So it's the Hindu plus Christian combination that the BJP is trying and maximize in Kerala. So, and that's visible by what Rajiv Chandrasekhar was doing. Yes.
Well, it's interesting, of course, in Kerala that the Catholic Church has come out in favor of Mr. Anthony. It's a very interesting election this time in Kerala, Anand, because it's a triangular contest, as we know. And it has been made a triangular contest because many people believe that Rahul Gandhi, especially on the left, in his own India alliance, has not kept up coalition dharma. So you have an
But one thing I
odd
just want to park
circumstance.
there, and Zaka can weigh in on that the Christian vote is very, very sectorially
Very.
divided. So
Absolutely.
one church supporting does not mean all
Absolutely.
churches supporting.
Absolutely. But it's interesting because you have these contradictions and they become very difficult to read. Even in Wayanad, the question that is being asked today by the Wayanad voter is, fine, we don't mind voting for you. What is your commitment to us? And this is a theme that is recurrent on the ground in Wayanad. When Annie Raja spoke to me, she made this the singular focus of the interview. And it's interesting because there's talk that right after this phase, ends after Wayanad finishes, Mr. Gandhi is going to announce his candidature
Amethi
from
Raebareli,
Amethi.
Rahul and
So
Priyanka.
I'm
That's
asking
what
a
the News
fundamental
18 input
question.
is.
Don't the voters of Wayanad, since they made this an issue, deserve to know whether Mr. Gandhi will give them up for Amethi if he were to pull off a stirring upset? Can you imagine? We're talking in terms of upset in Amethi now because Smriti Irani did the unimaginable about 2 states. And we have to be laser-like. It's about Maharashtra and it's about Karnataka. I think these 2 states, between them, 48 and 28, do the math, 76 seats. Second largest contributor to the Lok Sabha is Maharashtra. If it doesn't go well in these 2 states for the Bharatiya Janata Party, the overall numbers, the projection of strength, lot changes on the ground for them if they do, of course, come back and win this election. A lot changes.
Kerala,
even
Karnataka,
legislatively.
Maharashtra, a bit of Bihar, Rajasthan, lots of ground to cover.
I don't share the pessimism that is expressed, by a large number of psephologists in the north. I think this is a national election at the end of the day. There are national issues in the north that are at play. I'm not so sure about the south, specifically Kerala, where I think it has become a localized contest because of the left and the
So, V.D.
Congress.
Saleeshan is the leader of the opposition, the head of the Congress party there in Kerala. He's casting his vote in Ernakulam. So, 20 seats. The BJP is yet to open its account. So, some of the focus seats that the BJP is looking at, obviously, the high-profile fight between Rajiv Chandrasekhar and Shashi Tharoor in the constituency of Thiruvananthapuram, which is the capital. It's a prestige battle. The BJP came closest to opening its account in a Lok Sabha election back in 2014 when O. Rajagopal lost to Shashi Tharoor by I think about 12,000 votes or so. The neighbouring constituency of Attingal also, where V. Muralidharan MOS-MEA, he's contesting. This again was a seat that the BJP did well last time around. Shobha Surendran was fighting from that seat. She finished number 2, over 30% vote share. Can Mr. Muralidharan pip the BJP past the post? And then, of course, there is the Wayanad seat, which this time around, like Rahul was saying, it's become a 3-way fight. Last time it was just CPI candidate versus Rahul Gandhi. This time it's Rahul Gandhi versus Annie Raja versus K. Surendran, who is the state BJP chief. Whether it will lead to a change of result, will Mr. Gandhi's margins come down, will he actually lose from there? We'll have to wait and see.
Is it possible to deep dive the demographics of Wayanad? If it is, it's an interesting, fascinating constituency, isn't it, by itself? Because it's quite diverse.
I don't have the
in different
exact
ways.
breakup of the demographics, but I think it's about 55% Hindu and the remaining is divided between Muslims and Christians.
So it's interesting because the assumption that people make immediately because of the commentary is that it is a minority-dominated constituency. That's not really.
But this is data that is quite old. So whether that data remains true to its numbers is another aspect. What the voters and how it's broken up, we'll have to wait and watch on that. But
I know where you're going.
Yeah,
with that
the
one.
interesting aspect is Shobha Surendran. Shobha Surendran has a track record of improving the BJP's voter base by at least 10 to 20% wherever she's gone to campaign. This time, interesting, they shafted her to Alapura.
Well, it's a tough fight.
Yeah,
well,
and it's
a
a
very
tough fight. And it's a tough fight. The fact is that she's such a firebrand that whenever she goes, she adds about 1 lakh votes to the BJP wherever she has campaigned. That she did that with Attingal too. We've got Neetu Raghukumar in conversation with Rajiv Chandrasekhar. Listen in.
So the voting is progressing at the moment. How confident are you?
No, I am confident. This question has been posed to me in the last few days several times. I am extremely confident that the people of Thiruvananthapuram don't want the same old status quo that they have experienced for the last 15 years or the last 20 years. And they want change, they want to move forward, they want jobs, they want development, they want investments, they want good governance, they want a relationship with the central government that will transform their lives and give better futures to the youth. So I am extremely confident that people don't want what they've experienced for the last 15 to 20 years.
Thiruvananthapuram is a constituency which saw a very high-profile battle, we can say that, and three-cornered fight. At this stage, what do you think will make you stand out? What is your opinion?
No, I think, I don't buy all this high profile and all of that. I think there are clearly two ideologies and two promises for Thiruvananthapuram that are in front of the people. There is one promise, whether it is the LDF or the UDF, of the same old, nothing, which is represented by the UDF and the LDF, and there is us, which is the NDA, which is showcasing 10 years of what Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has done for India, and our desire and hope to serve the people of Tirunelveli in the same manner. So I think that is what is in front of people. This is a democratic process where the people will choose what type of future they want.
So he will be also casting his ballot, although he has been plying his wares in Bengaluru for a while. We'll get to Bangalore South, where Tejasvi Surya will be casting his vote in just a bit. Harish Upadhyay joining us live from Bengaluru. Ritu is joining us from Mysore. But before we shift our focus to Karnataka, a quick word with Neetu Raghukumar. Shortly after her conversation with Rajiv Chandrasekhar, is Thiruvananthapuram going to come out and vote in big numbers, Neetu? That's what's important. Kerala voter turnout has been high historically.
Kerala voter turnout has always been on the higher side. Last time in Thiruvananthapuram, the voter percentage was about 73%. Today also, right from morning, what we are seeing is long queues here. See, even at by about 6:30, we could see that both men and women have turned up, standing in queues here even before the voting has started. So in this particular booth also, we can see that the queue is pretty long here. This is what we are witnessing across the state in many of the booths. This is the situation where there are a large number of people turning out early in the morning itself to cast their vote. So whether they will breach this time the 73.4% which they witnessed last time is something which we'll have to wait and watch. But the morning hours are really showing that the queue is pretty long. Now this was a high-profile battle, a high-octane battle that we witnessed here. We could see that three-time sitting MP Shashi Tharoor and Rajiv Chandrasekhar and CPI's Panyan Ravindran were battling it out here, and we can see from the voter turnout itself that this has made an impact.
Yeah, they split the men and women. Men are on the other side. This is all the women standing. Rahul Shivshankar has a question for you.
Neetu, this is Rahul. Hi, good morning, and great to see you out there. Just a quick question. This outsider tag, does it work against Mr. Chandrasekhar more in Thiruvananthapuram than it works against Rahul in Wayanad? Just wanted to ask, what is the sense in Kerala about outsiders?
See, Rahul Gandhi in Wayanad is not going to have that outsider tag because the people of Kerala still respond to the Gandhi siblings and resonate with them. So he, even last time, though the opposition tried to say that he's just come here and it's like election tourism, but it did not have that kind of an impact on the ground. This time also the outsider tag will not have much of an impact. Now, if you look at Thiruvananthapuram also, there is a section of people. It's not just the urban areas, but you have rural areas of the 7 constituencies, coastal areas. So in some areas, yes, there is this talk about an outsider tag, but within the city limits, it's not going to have much of an effect. But to the question, Rahul Gandhi across the constituency, when we witnessed, he doesn't have that outsider tag.
Yeah, he's already the sitting MP there, and if he still has the outsider tag, then that's a reflection of what he's done or not done.
It's interesting, when Shashi first contested in 2009, he had that tag. He had the tag of being an outsider. He's never lived in Thiruvananthapuram. He's not from Thiruvananthapuram. That seat was strategically chosen. Of course, he won it 3 times thereafter. But
Rajiv Chandrasekhar is born there. His father was
the
army officer. He's lived there. He's plied his wares. Even when he was running, he was a media mogul. He had a lot of
he still owns, I think, stake in one of the leading networks there. But you were talking about the Christian vote, including in the constituency of Thiruvananthapuram. The Christian vote is more than 20% in these constituencies. About half the state, about 9 out of 20 constituencies, where the Christians are more than 20% of the population. Thiruvananthapuram is one of those seats. You come further up, Anthony's son, Mr. Anil Anthony, we were talking about Pathanamthitta. He's just got endorsement from one of the key denominations there. It's called the Believers Church. So he's up against, it's the Anthony versus Anthony fight. Anto Anthony is the sitting MP, two-time MP. He's taking on Anil Anthony and Thomas Isaac, who is the former finance minister of the state. You go up, there's Dean Kuriakose in Idukki, in Kottayam, which is the heartland of the Christians. Again, very interesting fight. Thomas Charikardan, who's the sitting MP of the Kerala Congress. Mani used to be with the UDF last time, now with the LDF. Of course, that's a seat that they're defending. You go all the way up to the north, even in the seat of Wayanad, there is a substantial Christian population. It's more than 20%. And again, this time around, like I said, it's not a two-way, it's a three-way fight. Mr. Surendran of the BJP, Rahul Gandhi, the sitting MP of the Congress, and Annie Raja of the CPI. So clearly, there is a fight in many of these constituencies. And I want to just very quickly run you through the other filter, which is direct Congress versus BJP versus CPM fight. And if you look at it, again, half of the state is where a CPM candidate is taking on a Congress candidate, is taking on a BJP candidate, and it goes all the way from Attingal in the south to Kasaragod in the north.
Well, interestingly, there is a Christian vote, there's a Muslim vote, and it's not a Hindu vote, it's a left vote, because largely the Hindus in Kerala have voted left. So, and you would had the top levels of across the caste equations who have become top leaders with the left. So, there's never been a core Hindu vote, and the BJP, that's why despite the RSS having huge density and presence there, the religion aspect becomes personal. Politically, they are Marxist-Leninists. So that's the level, that's how it actually has always moved. Let's go across and shift focus, ladies and gentlemen, to Karnataka. Bengaluru South and Mysuru. We have Ritu joining us from Mysuru, Harish Upadhyay from Bengaluru South. Will Bengaluru South wake up? Tejasvi Surya has been campaigning hard. It's an interesting fight there. He's scheduled to come out and cast his ballot around 8 a.m. Whereabouts are you, Harish? We see Narayan Murthy ji also there. Yeah.
Anand, we are at BAS College. This is where just a while ago we had Narayan Murthy and Sudha Murthy coming out and vote. They were one of the first voters. They were here sharp at 7. And a similar enthusiasm that we are seeing across age group here, especially in Jainagar area. It's a upmarket area here, and the abysmal voting percentage is always a concern across the city, including in Jainagar. And this time round, at least in the first hour, we are seeing good response. Remember, Bengaluru as a whole had just a percentage of around 53-55% over the last 2 elections, and that is something that has been a cause of concern. Election Commission going all out to ensure that that percentage goes up. At least first hour it looks decent. We'll have to see if this can hold for the next few hours and increase that percentage. The BJP in the meanwhile wants to increase its vote share as well. It's consistently gone up over the last 3 elections. So in fact in 2019 the Congress had polled around 34%, while the BJP had managed to get 62% of the vote share. And this time we've seen Tejasvi Surya actively campaigning, saying that he's aiming for a lead of anywhere between 4 to 5 lakh votes. That's what the BJP has been saying. But the Congress very confident here that one, Ramlinga Reddy's daughter, Soumya Reddy, who's also a former MLA of Jainagar, has launched a spirited campaign here. They're also hoping that the guarantees really work for them, especially the women voters, and they can put up a good fight here in Bengaluru South, although it's considered a BJP bastion.
Well, it's going to be a hot day, so let's hope the voters come out and beat the heat. Before we go across to Ritu, Zaka Jacob here was on the poll bus with Tejasvi Surya. So
I was in a place called Baswangudi. That's where his uncle Ravi Subramanya is the sitting MLA. Look, Bangalore South, BJP has held that seat since, I think, 1996 or something. So, for the last 6-7 elections, they've not lost, irrespective of who the candidate there is. Anant Kumar first held that seat for them. And I can't think of an example. Maybe Gandhinagar is probably a seat which the BJP has held for so long, uninterrupted. So, Tejasvi Surya is on a very, very strong wicket. He won by almost, I think, a 3 lakh margin last time around. It's a high-profile battle. It's also a deeply personal battle because Soumya Reddy was contesting again from the Jainagar Assembly seat just last year. And if you remember that late lost by 16 votes eventually, DK Shivkumar turned up there, Tejasvi Surya was at the counting center, and finally that candidate, I think his name was Ram Murthy, he won the seat by just a mere 16 votes. Soumya Reddy, of course, is the daughter of the current Transport Minister, Ramalinga Reddy, a good friend of Rahul Shivshankar is here. Then you have the other 2 Bengaluru seats. Bengaluru city itself, look, I think it's a very, very strong and perhaps even safe bet for the BJP. North Bengaluru city, Both candidates have been changed. Sadanand Gowda was a sitting MP. He's been changed. Shobha Karanlaje is fighting from that seat. Rajiv Gowda of the Congress is fighting from that seat. And then you have Central Bangalore, which is PC Mohan versus Mansoor Khan. But I think aside of the Bengaluru seats, I keep going back to, the Kaveri belt, as it were. And remember, this has been an extremely hot year in Karnataka. 200 taluks have been declared as drought hit. And this is the Kaveri belt that's voting today, all the way from Hassan, Mandya, Bengaluru Rural, Chamarajanagar, Mysore, and of course the Bengaluru city seats, because water in the city comes from there, as we see Nirmala Sitharaman there turning up. She's also a voter from Bengaluru South. Anand, you want to talk about that? I mean, there was for some time speculation that she could be the candidate for the BJP.
She could be, but then her Rajya Sabha seat was precious, and the Rajya Sabha seat then would have been given the current construct, would have had to be given up to the opposition, and that perhaps was a strategic call that was taken that let her finish her term. Contrary to what Mr. Piyush Goyal, what happened, he had 4.5 years in his Rajya Sabha term, but he is out there in Mumbai campaigning on ground, and he is going to come on a Lok Sabha ticket. Increasingly, the BJP's thought process is that their top ministers and people should come from the people's call, or the people's house, that's the Lok Sabha, and they want to minimize the number of people who are being brought into the cabinet and into governance or government via the Rajya Sabha. But in this case, this is unique. Big wigs, big faces from Bengaluru South. The other aspect is Tejasvi Surya as an MP has been an on-call, always available, always on call MP. He's got a team that's tried to work very strongly and work closely with his constituency. He's made strong representations for his constituency too. But is that going to be enough to increase his margin of votes? Strong leaders of the BJP who are now currently in action this time around in Bengaluru. Shobha Karanlaje, a tall, strong, firebrand Vocaliga leader who is also now wanting to look at a leg up and get some strong responsibility within the party in terms of trying to bring it together. So as a Vocaliga face, working closely with B.S. Yediyurappa's son Vijendra, who's a Lingayat face. So the Lingayat Vocaliga combination comes there. Tejasvi Surya in his 30s, again one of the strong leaders for the future. So these are strong faces that the BJP is going to be fielding this time.
I think, Anand, there are 2 or 3 elections that are going on simultaneously in Karnataka by the way of themes. You have a historical record where usually the party that wins, this is from 84 onwards, Mr. Hegde, since then the party that wins at the state level ends up not doing so well at the national level. So history is going for the Bharatiya Janata Party. The problem is turnout. And in this particular election, you're talking about guarantees, etc., etc. All of that feeds in if this was a local election as such. But there is incumbency against the Congress. But the BJP voter is voting on national issues. And other voters are thinking about who is going to be the Prime Minister of this country. And the problem is that Congress, BJP direct fights. This is not Kerala. BJP Congress direct fights. You have to ask, what is the voter asking himself? Who is going to lead this country?
See, and not just that, is the voter really putting PM Modi on the ticket, or is the voter then going to leapfrog the local issues,
go with
local
the last
candidates?
2 election results.
Yeah.
When Modi has been on the ticket vis-a-vis Rahul Gandhi, because 2019 Rahul Gandhi was projected, there was a no contest. Today there is nobody on the other side because the India Alliance has not been able to put together consensus on a candidate. And I think fundamentally a state like Karnataka, where there is just a direct fight, really, fundamentally, is just going to look at the larger picture.
I'm going to sort of add a little layer to that. You can't ignore the local. I mean, all elections are local at the end of the day. And the reason I say that is because out of the 14 seats that are going to polls in Karnataka today, look at this. The BJP has changed 9 of those 14 MPs. Why? Because clearly they sense that there is something on the ground. Of course, the Congress won a big mandate in the assembly last year, 135 MLAs that they had. And remember, these seats were won with huge margins. 61% of the vote went to the BJP last time around. The Congress had just 33. So literally twice the vote share the BJP had in these 9 seats, and they've changed the MP. Of course, this is again going back to the Gujarat model when Mr. Modi was chief minister. About a third of the MLAs used to be changed back then. But in Karnataka, that number has been substantially higher than, let's say, even a state like UP, where
But
UP, a large number of MPs have been repeated.
But these people are not by a formula that I have to, it's not like a bell curve thing that
Again,
I've got
we
to
don't
do.
know. We don't know the formula.
What happens is that they have some very stringent surveys on ground.
Yeah.
There's feedback on ground. Performance of the MP is monitored, and then they see if in the assembly elections your MP has not been effective, then what is the incumbency, anti-incumbency quotient, and is that going to be more than PM Modi on the ticket? Because this time around, a lot of people are thinking PM is going to win anyway. Aayega to Modi, so it's okay. Let me just fix my local guy. I'll teach this person lesson because the next constituency will
massive
win.
water crisis.
Absolutely.
It's been hit by a large number of civic issues, but they keep repeating.
Let's just park this and quickly bringing in Ritu. We come back to this conversation with respect to Bengaluru, but Mysuru again, South Karnataka, that belt, Mysuru, Mandya. Ritu is joining us live. Ritu, whereabouts are you? And are the Kumaraswamis, are they that entire family? When are they going to come out to vote? Lot at stake for them, the JDS.
Well, we are right now in Mysuru, right in front of the Shrikant government school, therein where you see, in fact, the Yaduvir Chamaraj Vadeyar is expected to come here and cast his vote at around 8:30 a.m. is what we are learning. But however, joining us right now is the first time voters as well, who look very happy, in fact, because it's for the first time that they have casted their vote. So how happy you are?
Very happy because I have exercised my duty.
Okay. How important it is to vote, you say?
It's very important because as a citizen of a country, it's our right and our duty to choose our leaders.
Your message to all your friends to come out and vote today?
Yes, as a citizen, it's a responsibility of every citizen of the nation to cast their vote. So it's duty of every citizen to vote. So in my opinion, everyone should be aware of their leaders and also the current affairs and what's going on, the current issues in our nation. So everyone must vote.
Well, there you go. That's the message that the first-time voters are sending, that everyone should come out and vote. So they look very happy. But on the other hand, let's talk about what exactly is in the Mysuru Kodagu Lok Sabha seat. There you see it's Yaduvir Vadeyar, the erstwhile family member of Mysore Palace from BJP contesting from this seat. And then on the other hand, you have the Congress candidate Lakshman, who again is from a Vokaliga community. And you see this Mysuru has a significant number of Lingayats, Vokaliga voters, Muslim voters, SC right and ST voters as well. And then you have Kodavas as well in a significant numbers in Mysuru. So you see, if we talk about the assembly seats, then yes, total of 8 assembly seats are in Mysuru and Kodagu altogether. There are 5 Congress MLAs, you have 2 JDS MLA and 1 BJP. Now with all that, you see the Congress is banking on the Congress guarantees, and moreover, this is also a matter about that prestige battle here, because Karnataka Chief Minister Sitharaman hails from Mysuru. It's his home district where he will be casting his vote in Siddharamana Hundi at around 9:30 a.m. is what we are learning. So that's the matter on that for the Congress, because we have seen Karnataka CM constantly spending a lot of time here in Mysuru when compared to the other districts. Right. So, and on the other hand, you have Yaduvir as well.
Yes, Yaduvir Vadeyar, I've met him. He's very firebrand. Unlike the past of the royal families, which are not mixing with the people, he's very clued in, and of course, he's got very close roots with the VHP, with the RSS, and he's worked in close stand-up.
There's somebody who's opposite of firebrand,
and this is the opposite of firebrand. But then he's shown a different avatar. Good to see Rahul Dravid out there standing in queue.
He tried to put on a different avatar.
Yeah, that was a different avatar of his.
Swinging the bat.
But Rahul Dravid, Nirmala Sitharaman, N.R. Narayan Murthy. All of them out there waiting. First up, early morning, Vasundhara Raje also going out to cast her vote, and this is in Rajasthan. Now, again, those remaining 13 of the 25 seats that are going to the ballot today.
This is in Jhalawar. Hassan is the sitting MP. He's up against...
This time around, a lot of stories with Rajasthan. What we'll do is, we'll shift focus from south towards the north when we come back after a break. Stay with us.
दलितों, पिछड़ों और आदिवासियों का आरक्षण न खत्म होगा, ये मोदी की गारंटी है। आरक्षण न खत्म होगा और न ही उसे धर्म के नाम पर बांटने दिया जाएगा।
हमने वायदा किया है कि जैसे ही हमारी सरकार आएगी, जो हमने तेलंगाना में किया, जाति जनगणना को हम पूरे देश में इंप्लीमेंट कर देंगे। पिछड़े वर्ग को, दलितों को, आदिवासियों को, गरीब जनरल कास्ट के लोगों को, माइनॉरिटीज को पता लग जाएगा कि इस देश में उनकी भागीदारी कितनी है।
At the Ratibar village in Bhopal district, we have caught up with a group of women to try and understand what their issues are this election season. अम्मा ये बताइए, आप ससुराल है ये गांव आपका, शादी हो?
इनकी भी ससुराल, मेरी भी ससुराल, और जे हमारी दुल्हन है इनकी ससुराल और जे की ससुराल।
अच्छा, तो आप जब शादी होकर इस गांव में आई, तब से लेकर अब तक पानी की समस्या आप लोगों की कैसी रही है?
सही पानी की समस्या आई, हमने शुरू से ऐसी देखी, क्योंकि हम जहाँ भागनो पानी का पानी नहीं मिले। अब अभी बोर है गई, बिन में से थोड़ा बहुत पानी भरा है और फुर्सत कहाँ भागे आप।
ये बड़े बड़े ड्रम्स जो यहाँ रखे हुए हैं, ये ड्रम आपको पानी भर के रखना पड़ता है, खुद जाती है भरने के लिए? कितनी दूर?
तो हमें तो जहाँ भर बेकार, अब तो घरे नल आने लगे, अब वे उतने ही यहाँ नल तो थोड़े बहुत ही, हम लोग खर्चे ही नहीं पूरा हो पा।
आपके यहाँ तो मैंने देखा पाइप लगा हुआ है, अब शुरू हो गए नल?
जरूर, पानी वो तो यहाँ सोई है।
मगर पानी बस 10 मिनट चलता है, 10-20 मिनट, इतना भी, इतने से ज्यादा नहीं चलता है।
तो पानी की समस्या है?
पानी की तो बहुत ज्यादा ही है इस गाँव में, पानी के लिए बहुत भटकना पड़ता है।
अच्छा, बिजली?
बिजली भी आती जाती रहती,
बट रहती है।
बिजली तो खूब रही है, बिजली तो अच्छे से है।
अच्छा,
अब वो तो कोई काम चले जब तो वो बिजली जाइए, वरना बिजली तो 24 घंटा रही।
अच्छा, और दूसरा आपके गांव में, आपके बच्चे तो खैर छोटे हैं, बट गांव में जो लड़के लड़कियां 12वीं तक पढ़ गए हैं या कॉलेज तक पढ़ गए हैं, उनको नौकरियां मिल जाती हैं आसानी से?
नहीं मिलती।
तो क्या करते हैं?
नहीं मिल रही भाई, 3 मेरे ही बेटे
कोई प्राइवेट जॉब कर लेता है, कोई कुछ कर लेता है, कोई टीचर बन जाता है 2-2 हजार में यहीं पे, बस यही होता है, नौकरी नहीं मिलती।
किस तरह की नौकरियां ढूंढते हैं वो लोग? सरकारी ढूंढते हैं या प्राइवेट से भी खुश
ढूंढते? तो सरकारी पर मिलती नहीं है ना,
बट प्राइवेट नौकरी वो मिल जाती है।
वो भी नहीं मिलती, कर लेते पर जुगाड़ लग जाती है।
कहीं को कॉलेज में जा रहा, कहीं को कहीं जा रहा, यहाँ से हो तो रही है,
मजदूरी कर रहा। हाँ,
मतलब पढ़े लिखे बच्चे भी जिन्होंने 12वीं किया हुआ या कॉलेज किया हुआ, वो मजदूरी कर रहे हैं।
10वीं 12वीं सब ऐसे ही कर रहा है।
कोई ने डेयरी खोल ली दूध की, ऐसे करते।
अब का कर कुछ धंधो तो करेगा भी।
ये बताइए, थोड़े दिनों पहले शिवराज सिंह चौहान, जो जिनको आप सब लोग मामा जी कहते हैं, उन्होंने एक लाडली बहना योजना शुरू की थी, उसका कितना लाभ मिलता है आपको? मिलता है कुछ पैसा आपको?
हमें नहीं मिला, बिल नहीं मिला, तो मिले नहीं, अपन पेंशन मिलेगी तो अभी तो मिलेगी, तो अभी नहीं मिली, तुमने फॉर्म नहीं भरो, अभी सब कुछ कर ला।
अच्छा, आपको नहीं
मिली?
आपको अभी तक पैसा नहीं
मिली,
पर आपको मिला है?
हमें सब मिल रहा है, पेंशन मिल रही है हमरे कहा जी, और ये लाडली बहना नहीं मिल रहा है पैसा।
आपको? जी, मिल रहा है लाडली बहना।
हमें 600 रुपए मिल रहे हैं।
कितने आते हैं?
1250
आते हैं। और आप लोगों के बैंक अकाउंट पे आते हैं?
जी।
अच्छा, बीच में ये बात कही गई थी कि वो 1250 रुपए जो है वो बढ़ा दिए जाएंगे, तो आपको इस बारे में उम्मीद है कि बढ़ जाएगा या इतने में?
तो पहले 1000 आया, 12।
It's the big battle for Bharat, just 10 hours and 15 minutes. That's the time that you have to step out of your home, step out of your offices, go out and vote in many places. Like in Noida, it's been declared a paid leave by the district commissioner here, the collector here. Is it the case in your place? What more incentive do you want to go ahead and vote? That's the Noida skyline this morning. Those are our offices, and right outside we've posted this big on the horizon. The only thing that matters on this day, phase 2 of polling, is for the voters across these 88 seats to go out and cast their ballot. Go out and vote, ladies and gentlemen. Your vote counts. And it's a whole host of reporters that is spread right across the length and breadth of the country, across the 13 states and union territories. They're all of them waiting to get us the ground reports, including Neetu Raghukumar. Purnima is present there. Ritu is present. Harish Upadhyay is present. Anshul, Kamalika, Saurabh, Akash, a lot of them on ground to get you the pulse of what's happening on ground with respect to the voter turnout, and also we'll do a quick check of some of the interesting fights. Let's go straight in and zoom in towards Bihar and Bengal. Saurabh is joining us from Purnia, where it's a very interesting fight. But first to Kamalika, who's joining us from Darjeeling. Many thought it would be Harsh Shringla who would be the BJP's candidate. That's not the story, but Darjeeling itself presents a very interesting story. So is Darjeeling coming out to vote behind you? Is there activity, or is it just security personnel that you see, Kamalika?
Absolutely, Bengal, you will see from the morning voter turnouts, high voter turnouts. And right now I'm standing in a model booth, which is a pink booth, which is run by the polling personnel of all women polling personnel. Harshvardhan Shringla has voted in the morning. That's another interesting thing. This is a place, all the three constituencies, Darjeeling, Balughat and Raiganj, 100% CAPF. Only for three constituencies we have 272 companies CAPF, which is very high. So till now what we are getting initial complaints is like Shukanto Majumdar, heavyweight BJP state president, he is contesting from Balughat. He has been complaining that voters are intimidated in certain places. On the other hand, the TMC is saying in certain places CAPF is trying to influence the voters. So, as Bengal starts, I will again keep my fingers crossed, but it's violence which calls the day in Bengal in every voting phase. But this time you can see huge line and model booth where huge number of people. Here, this is the character of Bengal, like women and men, they all came out to vote early in the morning. But here, it's really interesting. We'll just try to talk to some people. इतना सुबह वोट क्यों देने आते हैं?
सुबह गर्म नहीं है, घर जाके आराम से काम कर सकते हैं वोट देके।
किस तरफ हवा है इधर?
सब ठीक ही है।
हवा किस तरफ, पॉलिटिकल हवा किस तरफ, किस चीज पे वोट देंगे आप?
अब देखते हैं क्या है।
Kamalika, you have to ask them, have they voted every time?
Going to tell.
Have they voted every time? See, we see people who are coming together. How many times have
हर
they voted?
बार, हाँ, हर बार आप लोग वोट देते हो ना आके?
हाँ, हर बार ही देते हैं।
इस बार स्पेशल कुछ है?
नहीं, हर बार जिसको देते वही है।
अच्छा।
शांति चाहिए? This is a major thing here. When I'm standing in Chopra, which is the tail of Darjeeling, it's a very sensitive area. This is the place where 2019 huge amount of violence has been seen. Raiganj is very sensitive. 111 companies only in Raiganj. So in Bengal, people turnout is not that a factor. People do turn out. Huge number of people come up. But the factor is whether it will be violence-free or not. That's the big question. In Bengal, that
voter intimidation and violence, these are two allegations that have been made, and everybody pointing fingers at each other. Kamalika, happy to see that you're at a pink booth. That's an all-woman manned booth there. Polling officials across the length and breadth of our country. 1.67 lakh polling booths that are active only on this day, today. The big festival of democracy, pulling away from Bengal, entering Bihar, Purnia, Saurabh. It's an interesting fight there. Santosh Kushwaha, Bima Bharti and Pappu Yadav, with Tejasvi Yadav coming out and saying, "Humko vote nahi doge, mat do, NDA ko dena." Clearly saying, don't vote for Pappu Yadav. Pappu Yadav saying, I have done so much for the Lalu Yadav family all this while, and you are treating me like this. So amidst all of this, will Santosh Kushwaha make some inroads there? पप्पू यादव while speaking with me here on News 18 in Hindi, वो बोले कि 42 के 42 एमएलए आपके सबके सब आ गए हैं जेडीयू के, सब इधर आके क्यों कैंपेन कर रहे हैं अगर सब कुछ ठीक है तो?
Yes, Anand, it's very interesting, and the voting will be very interesting. In fact, in the first phase, only 49% was, the voting percentage in Bihar. But looking at the enthusiasm and the crowd early in the morning, they are standing here from 6:30 a.m. and now they have started voting. The diversity of voting could be seen here. We had seen 80 years old couple coming out, and they were the first voter in this particular booth where we are expecting Papu Yadav to come. Remember, Papu Yadav tried to get a ticket from Congress, but he was not given ticket from here, so he decided to contest, independently, which made this particular seat very hot seat, where we have a RJD candidate Bhima Bharti, who herself was in JDU, but she dumped JDU, she joined RJD and got a ticket from here. Santosh Kumar Kushwaha is the sitting MP here, and he is contesting from JDU. In fact, 5 constituencies will be witnessing voting in this particular second phase, where Purnia, Katihar, Kishanganj, Banka, Bhagalpur voting are taking place at all these 5 constituencies. We are particularly at Purnia. We have a voter, Anand, who is voting for the first time, and she has just come out after casting her vote. So you have come out, you have voted. What were the issues in your mind that made you vote?
पुराने मुद्दे जो कुछ भी थे, मतलब जैसे कि पहले जो कुछ भी वादे वगैरह किए गए थे जो कि पूरे नहीं हुए, वो चाहती हूँ कि इस बार पूरे हो। काफ़ी उम्मीद के साथ वोट दिया है और चाहती हूँ कि पूरे हो। सुरक्षता है, सुरक्षा है, रोजगार है, ये सारी चीज़ों को मुद्दे को ध्यान में रखा जाए। और ख़ास करके यहाँ हॉस्पिटल वगैरह में जैसे कि हम देखते हैं कि सफाई वगैरह से लेकर के बच्चे की रख रखाव, खाने पीने, सारी चीज़ों में स्वच्छता बरती जाए और ध्यान से इन सबका इलाज वगैरह किया जाए।
आनंद,
सौरभ, उनसे पूछिए कि जो यंग वोटर्स हैं, फर्स्ट टाइम वोटर्स हैं, उनको क्या कहेंगे? उनको पूछिए फर्स्ट टाइम वोटर्स के लिए क्या मैसेज है?
आपने फर्स्ट टाइम वोट किया है, आपके एज के वोटर्स हैं, और यहाँ बिहार में पर्टिकुलरली 1.5 लाख के आसपास ऐसे वोटर्स हैं जो फर्स्ट टाइम वोट कर रहे हैं। क्या कहेंगे उन वोटर्स को? व्हाट इज योर मैसेज?
उनके लिए बस यही है कि जैसे एक फेस्टिवल हम लोग उत्साह और उमंग के साथ मनाते हैं, पूरे दिन उसको मनाने के लिए हम लोग लगे रहते हैं तैयारी में कि ये करना है, वो करना है, इस तरह के कपड़े वगैरह। ठीक उसी तरह मतदान के लिए भी मैं यही कहूँगी, एक पर्व त्यौहार की तरह मनाइए। ये पूरे देश का एक पर्व है, जिसके लिए उम्मीद करती हूँ आप सभी सारे काम को छोड़ करके एक पर्व की तरह इसे मनाएंगे।
एक पर्व की तरह मनाएं, बहुत बढ़िया मैसेज है।
कितना इम्पोर्टेंस रखता है, कितना इम्पोर्टेंस रखता है वोटिंग? क्या लगता है वोटिंग से क्या क्या बदल सकता है?
वोटिंग से बहुत कुछ बदल सकता है। एक मत आपके लिए एक चमत्कार की तरह काम कर सकता है, एक मिरेकल की तरह काम कर सकता है, क्योंकि अगर आप एक सही उम्मीदवार चुन सकते हैं तो आपके लिए हो सकता है कि ये 5 साल पूरा का पूरा आपका ज़िंदगी बदल दे। एक अच्छी तरह से एक अच्छा उम्मीदवार आपके लिए रोजगार, व्यवस्था, सुरक्षा, सारी चीज़ें लेकर के आएगा। और बेहतर इससे और क्या हो सकता है कि वो आपको इन सब चीज़ों को छोड़ करके दूसरी चीज़ें उपलब्ध
वाह, बढ़िया बढ़िया।
प्रीति वेल डन।
प्रीति कुमारी जी बड़ी प्रखर वक्ता भी है, कॉन्फिडेंट भी है, कॉन्फिडेंट भी है। हमारे पास समय कम है, मैं जल्दी से आई जस्ट वांट टू कम बैक इनटू द स्टूडियो हियर। वेरी आर्टिकुलेट, पैशनेट, क्लियर. It's good to see first time voters, absolute prayer, clarity why they are coming out to vote. But this Indie alliance, not working together. Papu Yadav, Congress guy, he's up against RJD. They're supposed to be in a Gathbandhan. We're saying the same thing in Kerala. Is this going to diffuse some of the
one of the things, this belt, this Katihar, Purnia, Kishanganj belt is also a highly minority dominated belt. So the Muslims in at least these 3 constituencies are substantially populated. It's about 33% plus for sure. And this is also a belt, certainly in the last assembly election for sure in 2020, Mr. Owaisi played a role. He fielded candidates. I think he got 1 or 2 MLAs from this belt as well. But this time around, I don't think he's playing that much of a factor. I certainly don't see any high-profile candidates that he's put up in this belt. So the minority vote is also a quotient, at least in these 3 seats, Kishanganj, Katihar and Purnia. Purnia, you're right, and I think Rahul, you should weigh in on this. The only reason Papu Yadav joined the Congress, and he joined just a few weeks ago, was in the hope that the Congress would get the Purnia seat and he would get the Purnia ticket. But I think Tejasvi Yadav put his foot down.
I think we've forgotten what has changed on the ground in Bihar. I'm not just talking about the JDU doing a flip back to the BJP, but the number of other smaller caste-based alliances that the BJP has entered into. So taken together, the NDA there actually has 6 parties. And that makes a formidable array of castes, subcastes, etc. And that is a composite that we are looking at. So it's not just the JDU. And remember, there has been, when the JDU did switch, there was a little brush with what a state government with the RJD and the JDU brings to the table. And the experience was a bit of a reality check on the ground. Crime suddenly began to soar. There was problem. At least the perception was built. And people have had a taste to it. So the young voter who we heard spoke with such clarity and comprehension talking about 2 or 3 issues. If you really go deep dive, there is definitively a problem when it comes to economic delivery. People are feeling the lack of jobs. But as I told you, once again, Bihar has super identity and regional identities at play. And that's the
You spoke about the NDA 6-party collaboration. They're not fighting with each other. Here there are 2 big parties who themselves at loggerheads in critical seats like Purnia and some of the other regions also. We've got to take yet another break. We'll be back very soon. Just 10 hours, just about 10 hours on the clock for us to go out and vote. Let's do our duty.
At the Ratibar village in Bhopal district, we have caught up with a group of women to try and understand what their issues are this election season. अम्मा ये बताइए, आप ससुराल है ये गांव आपका, शादी हो?
इनकी भी ससुराल, मेरी भी ससुराल, और जे हमारी दुल्हन है इनकी ससुराल और जे की ससुराल।
अच्छा, तो आप जब शादी होकर इस गाँव में आई, तब से लेकर अब तक पानी की समस्या आप लोगों की कैसी रही है?
सही पानी की समस्या आई, हमने शुरू से ऐसी देखी, क्योंकि हम जहाँ भागनो पानी का पानी नहीं मिले। अब अभी बोर है गई, इनमें से थोड़ा बहुत पानी भरा और फुर्सत कहाँ भागे आप?
ये बड़े बड़े ड्रम्स जो यहाँ रखे हुए हैं, ये ड्रम आपको पानी भर के रखना पड़ता है, खुद जाती है भरने के लिए? कितनी दूर?
तो हमें तो जहाँ भर बेकार, अब तो घरे ना लान लगे, अब वे उतने ही यहाँ नल तो थोड़े बहुत ही, हम लोग खर्चे ही नहीं पूरे हो पा।
आपके यहाँ तो मैंने देखा पाइप लगा हुआ है, अब शुरू हो गए नल?
जरूर पानी वो तो यहाँ सोई है,
मगर पानी बस 10 मिनट चलता है, 10-20 मिनट, इतना भी, इतने से ज्यादा नहीं चलता है।
तो पानी की समस्या है?
पानी की तो बहुत ज्यादा है इस गाँव में, पानी के लिए बहुत भटकना पड़ता है।
अच्छा, बिजली?
बिजली भी आती जाती रहती,
बट रहती है।
बिजली तो खूब रही है,
बिजली
तो अच्छे से है। अच्छा। अब वो तो कोई काम चले जब तो वो बिजली जाइए, वरना बिजली तो 24 घंटा रही।
अच्छा, और दूसरा आपके गांव में, आपके बच्चे तो खैर छोटे हैं, बट गांव में जो लड़के लड़कियां 12वीं तक पढ़ गए हैं या कॉलेज तक पढ़ गए हैं, उनको नौकरियां मिल जाती हैं आसानी से?
नहीं मिलती।
तो क्या करते हैं?
नहीं मिल रही भाई, 3 मेरे ही बेटे
कोई प्राइवेट जॉब कर लेता है, कोई कुछ कर लेता है, कोई टीचर बन जाता है 2-2 हजार में यहीं पे, बस यही होता है, नौकरी नहीं मिलती।
किस तरह की नौकरियां ढूंढते हैं वो लोग? सरकारी ढूंढते हैं या प्राइवेट से भी खुश?
ढूंढते तो सरकारी पर मिलती नहीं है ना।
बट प्राइवेट नौकरी वो मिल जाती है?
वो भी नहीं मिलती, कर लेते पर जुगाड़ लग जाती है।
कहीं को कॉलेज में जा रहा, कहीं को कहीं जा रहा, यहाँ से हो तो रही है,
मजदूरी कर रहा। हाँ,
मतलब पढ़े लिखे बच्चे भी जिन्होंने 12वीं किया हुआ या कॉलेज किया हुआ, वो मजदूरी कर रहे हैं।
10वीं 12वीं सब ऐसे ही कर रहा है।
कोई ने डेयरी खोल ली दूध की, ऐसे ही करता।
अब का करे कुछ धंधो तो करेगा भी।
ये बताइए, थोड़े दिनों पहले शिवराज सिंह चौहान, जो जिनको आप सब लोग मामा जी कहते हैं, उन्होंने एक लाडली बहना योजना शुरू की थी, उसका कितना लाभ मिलता है आपको? मिलता है कुछ पैसा आता है?
हमें नहीं मिला, नहीं मिले, तो मिले नहीं, अपने पेंशन मिलेगी तो अभी तो मिले ही नहीं, तो अभी नहीं मिली, तुमने फॉर्म नहीं भरो, अभी सब कुछ कर रहा।
अच्छा, आपको नहीं
मिली?
आपको अभी तक पैसा नहीं
मिली,
पर आपको मिला है?
हमें सब मिल रहा है, पेंशन मिल रही है हमरे काज, और ये लाडली बहना नहीं मिल रहा है पैसा।
आपको? जी मिल रहा है लाडली बहना,
हमें 600 रुपए मिल रहे हैं।
कितने आते हैं? 1250 आते हैं। और आप लोगों के बैंक अकाउंट में आते हैं?
जी।
अच्छा, बीच में ये बात कही गई थी कि वो 1250 रुपए जो है वो बढ़ा दिए जाएंगे, तो आपको इस बारे में उम्मीद है कि बढ़ जाएगा या इतने में?
तो पहले 1000 आया, 1200 हो गए।
नहीं, अब लगता तो नहीं है कि बढ़ पाएंगे।
आपको नहीं लगता?
नहीं,
पर आपको उम्मीद है कि बढ़ना चाहिए?
बढ़ना चाहिए, मगर अब देखते हैं क्या होता है।
अच्छा, ये जो पैसा आपके अकाउंट में आता है, महिलाओं के खाते में पैसा आता है, तो इससे कितना फर्क पड़ जाता है?
तो अब मेरी पेंशन मिला ही कहाँ, किस के दम?
आपको मिला ही नहीं है?
नहीं मिलेगा, नहीं मुफ्त मिल रही भाई, 600 रुपए
मिल रहा है, तो उससे कितना फर्क पड़ जाता है? 600 रुपए से क्या करती हैं
आप?
कर देंगे, दूध का दूध, पानी का पानी हो जाएगा।
ये अर्बन नक्सल की सोच आपका मंगलसूत्र भी बचने नहीं देंगे।
इंदिरा गांधी ने जब जंग हुई थी अपना सोना देश को दिया। मेरी माँ का मंगलसूत्र इस देश को कुर्बान हुआ है।
അപ്പോൾ ജയിലിൽ നിന്ന് കേട്ടാൽ നിങ്ങളെ അശോക് ചവാനെ പോലെ അയ്യോ എനിക്ക് അങ്ങോട്ട് പോകാൻ കഴിയില്ല.
अब केरला के लोग भी कह रहे हैं अब की बार 400 पार.
Every vote to the ADF is vote to the BJP.
Will the voters set the narrative for phase 2? Let's see, ladies and gentlemen. There are nearly 16 crore voters who have the right to cast their ballot, and they must in overwhelming numbers for a clear mandate to come through. Let's look at Kerala. What are the X factors? Out of the 20 seats in Kerala, the UDF ruled the roost the last time around. The BJP and the Congress are attacking the left over graft. So there is pressure on Pinarayi Vijayan, and there is a reason why this time he's been hard at Rahul Gandhi compared to the last time around. It's been far more acerbic between the two, despite them being alliance within the INDI alliance. Let's look at some of the other charges and some of the other dynamics as we move on. The corruption taint, along with that, the ideological battle between the BJP. Let's look at this. Rahul Gandhi versus Pinarayi, the fight getting very, very ugly. Like I was telling you, there are alliance troubles. And does that mean that there is a chance for it to become a three-way fight literally across multiple seats? The BJP eyeing dividends out of this INDI tussle which is happening between Pinarayi Vijayan and Rahul Gandhi. The left and the Congress are also promising the repeal of the CAA. Will that resonate on ground? And appealing to minorities to actually keep the BJP out. Whereas for the left, historically, the Hindu vote has been very, very critical. The Congress, on the other hand, looking at this combination of Muslim plus Christian vote, and of course a certain percentage of the Hindu voters who are wanting to move away from the left. But will the BJP be able to make inroads? Congress left both attacking the centre, whereas the Prime Minister making his inroads, very keen that the BJP breaks ice and gets onto the scoreboard vis-a-vis Kerala is concerned. Now, burden on the middle class also, and this whole aspect of inflation and price rise has been tried to be pushed down there. And there has been a counter narrative on ground saying that in a left black state, how is it that the prices are rising and why is it that it's happening? So the blame between centre and the left. Pinarayi Vijayan wielding two battles, fighting with both hands. Modi on one side, Rahul Gandhi on the other side. Now, is that going to weaken the LDF fight, or are they going to make a bigger presence? Big question there. Let's go straight across to Purnima, who's joining us from Wayanad. Purnima, what's the situation on ground? Are the voters turning out to vote? It's a three-way fight there. Who's got their nose ahead?
Well, from 7 a.m. you can find queues here at one of the polling booths in Wayanad. You can find a lot of women voters coming out to cast their votes from 7 a.m. This is the sight that we are seeing, and many here say that it's an interesting battle because in 2019 Rahul Gandhi in fact made his debut by contesting from the south. This time also Rahul Gandhi is seeking votes from them. So BJP has also fielded its candidate this time, and this time, even though the left and the Congress are together at the national level, here it's a three-cornered contest, as you said. People in Wayanad say that there are certain promises that should be fulfilled, including development, better infrastructure, whether it's road, railway station, and better connectivity. These are the things that they have in mind while they are casting their votes.
Well, thank you for your inputs, Purnima. The state BJP president, K. Surendran, is up against Rahul Gandhi and then Annie Raja. Let's delve.
The biggest issue in Wayanad is man-animal conflict.
Yes.
This whole elephant business. There have been 3 or 4 deaths in the last 3 months or so, and so big talking point.
And Rahul was absent.
In fact, the fact that Rahul Gandhi did not show up when one of the people got killed, and then he got the government of Karnataka, which is a Congress-ruled state, to pay compensation. for a victim of an elephant attack. So that's been a big talking point. But I do want to talk about some of the BJP-focused seats as far as Kerala is concerned. And the biggest focus, perhaps the likeliest chance for the BJP to open its account is the seat of Trichy, where Suresh Gopi, who is a popular actor there, an action hero, he fought the last Lok Sabha election, he lost. He fought the last assembly election, got more than 30% vote share. And he has been nurturing this constituency for a number of years. That's one thing that Thrissur residents tell you, that he's been there, he was out there solving some of the local issues that the constituency face. So this is one seat that they are hoping. The only problem is the Congress changed its candidate. T.N. Prathapan, who is the sitting MP, has been changed. Mr. Muralidharan, very high-profile leader, the son of former Chief Minister K. Karnataka, he was the Vadagara MP. He's been shifted from Vadagara. He's now facing off against Suresh Gopi in the constituency of Thrissur. Then if you come further down, we mentioned Alappuzha, where Shobha Surendran, very, very powerful firebrand leader. Again, she clocked more than 30% vote share in Attingal when she fought the last time around. But this time, she's up in a very difficult fight. K.C. Venugopal, who is the all-powerful organizational general secretary of the Congress, considered to be Mr. Rahul Gandhi's Man Friday. Alappuzha was the only seat that the UDF lost last time around. And one of the reasons, when he say there, was because K.C. chose not to fight that election. Had he fought, he would have won from Alappuzha. This time he's fighting from Alappuzha. There is the neighboring seat of Pathanamthitta, where again, it's a Christian heartland, it's a Christian belt. All three candidates are Christians, Anil Antony, Anto Antony, Thomas Isaac. This also happens to be the seat that houses Shabarimala. And last time around in 2019, that was the biggest issue. K. Surendran fought from this seat. He also clocked close to 30% vote share in that election, but was not able to displace Anto Antony. And then, of course, like we mentioned, the two southern constituencies of Attingal, where MOS Muralidharan is testing his fortunes, and, of course, the high-profile English-speaking battle, if you will, of Rajiv Chandrasekhar and Shashi Tharoor.
Shashi Tharoor, last time around, one important aspect in Tamil Nadu and in Kerala, the anti-Modi wave had hit its peak in 2019. It's a lot different this time around with the PM's forays into Tamil Nadu and also into Kerala. Much different. It's far more toned down. The turnout to his rallies have been far greater. But more importantly, what happened with the Thrissur Puram? The Thrissur Puram recently, the festival and the way it was disrupted because of the actions of that Ankit Ashokan, the commissioner who was, those 2 nights, the sentiment on ground turned. Smita Prakash is with us, Suman Raman were with us. That was significant. Do you think that's going to have a bearing when the voter goes out to vote in Thrissur? Smita Prakash, because I remember the ANI also was very actively tracking those developments, what happened ground. All of the regional media was reporting what happened there. The biggest festival, 3 temples involved. It's at the Vadakanathan temple, right at the heart of Thrissur round west. I come from there and I know the number of people who turn out there. And that the whole festival was disrupted because of the actions of the police commissioner, who's not a first timer there. He's somebody who's been there for 2-3 years. Even last time around, last year Thrissur Puram there, he had lathi charged some of the people. And he had a huge argument with the temple. There were some committee members. The local minister who was supposed to be there from the left was not there, Smita Prakash. Will that have an impact in favor of Suresh Gopi, who already has a certain level of purchase in terms of equity, goodwill among the voters of Thrissur?
Good morning, and thank you for having me on the show really early in the morning before my cup of coffee. I think BJP has been hovering around Thrissur for a long time, the temple festivals, and Suresh Gopi has been nurturing this place for a long time. It's something that the BJP wants to make an inroad into Kerala politics. We've discussed this before on your show, that the BJP doesn't want Kerala and Tamil Nadu to be a no-go area, whereas in Karnataka and in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, they have made inroads. They have managed to get their ground level workers. In Kerala and in Tamil Nadu, it's been a difficult go. So I think Zaka's right. There is Thrissur, which is very important, with Suresh Gopi out there, and K.C. Venugopal. That is, there'll be many in the Congress party wanting K.C. Venugopal to lose. So that's another thing which is going on, because K.C. Venugopal Venugopal belonging to the core team of Rahul Gandhi and evoking a lot of jealous sentiments among those who want to get closer to. So the inner politics which goes on in the Congress party. So KC Venugopal has to battle the three-corner contest, but also has to battle disgruntled elements within his own party. The other person you were talking about was Anil Antony. Anil Antony getting the support of the church also out here. Though they have not openly endorsed him, they've supported him. So the whole bunch of issues coming into play, the fact that Kerala story has been aired in some Christian communities because that is coming into play, the CAA coming into play, so many local factors coming into play while, many of us sitting in Delhi think these bigger pictures, but there are local factors which you mentioned, which include man-animal conflict in Wayanad, the NRI voters, that's another thing. Hundreds of thousands of these Vimanas which have come in from Dubai, those are also playing a lot. That the fact that Kerala voters sitting in Dubai are very interested in taking leave over the Friday weekend and coming in to vote. So that will also play a lot. Very different from the elections which are happening, say, in Rajasthan today.
Yes, it is, Mr. Prakash. And before we bring in Sumant Raman, Anil Antony has spoken with News 18. Let's listen into what he has to say, the Pathanamthitta candidate of the BJP.
Multiple seats in Kerala, and one of them will be the seat where I am contesting from Pathanamthitta. And because there is a definite mood for change within the people. Right now India is shining, India is going in an unprecedented trajectory. We are the fastest growing economy. We are at the same time, the last 10 years, we have empowered crores of people. 25 crore people have been lifted out of poverty. Every single household are beneficiaries of multiple schemes that our Prime Minister has started. This is one of the few elections in history where a two-time Prime Minister is going for a third election. And there is no anti-incumbency, there is only a pro-Modi wave across India. So all this will resonate in every constituency, including in Kerala. And we are going to see, and then Kerala is having a huge anti-incumbency against the left government. People are very, very unhappy with the UDF as an alternative. You take all that into consideration and the people are looking for a change. And we are the only party that can bring that change, the only coalition that can bring a change. So the Bharatiya Janata Party and the NDA is very confident of a historic mandate in Kerala. Yeah.
Kerala is one state where BJP has not been able to have an MP so far. So this time, do you think what will change and how many are you expecting?
So last time we had double-digit vote share. This time we are strongly contesting in double-digit seats. And we are expecting to win almost all of them.
Now, in Pathanamthitta, it's a tight contest between a three-time sitting MP and Thomas Isaac of the CPM. So what do you think will make you stand apart this time?
There is no tight contest. I am going to win in a landslide victory. There is a lot of anti-incumbency against the left government and the state is in huge financial distress. And people are blaming Mr. Thomas Isaac for most of the financial distress of the state. Mr. Anto Antony has been an MP for the last 15 years. And you look at that constituency and it is one of the most underdeveloped constituencies across Kerala. There are some areas in that constituency, in some of the mountain areas and all, which is actually, I would say, it is one of the most underdeveloped areas in the entire state. And people are very unhappy with the kind of work he has been doing. So there is a lot of anti-incumbency against the three-time MP. There is a lot of anti-incumbency and displeasure among the public against the other left candidate.
Right, I have a question, Zaka. Anto and Anil, where is AK? And who is he going to back?
Yeah, and somebody asked AK Antony, your son is fighting on a BJP ticket, and he said, it's my prayer that my son loses. He said, my son has to lose, the BJP has to lose, my only religion is Congress party. He said this in an open press conference. But just a word on Pathanamthitta constituency, because I think, the difference between, let's say, a Thrissur, a Pathanamthitta and a Thiruvananthapuram, at least as far as BJP is concerned, both in Thiruvananthapuram and in Pathanamthitta, they sort of announced the candidature of these individuals, Anil Antony in Pathanamthitta, Rajiv Chandrasekhar in Thiruvananthapuram, just a few weeks before the election. Whereas in Thrissur, it was always known that Suresh Gopi is going to be the person there. He's been nurturing that constituency for the last 5-7 years. So people have a name and face recall with this person. They also believe, okay, he's not going to run away just because he lost one election, the last assembly election or the last Lok Sabha. He's not going to ditch the constituency and he's not going to go away. Whereas the feeling in these two constituencies is these candidates are new. First of all, they're not from there. Anil Antony is from Alapura. In fact, he's actually from Delhi. He studied and he grew up in Delhi. But his family, Mr. A.K. Antony's family, is from Chertala. It's from Alapura. So he's been sort of drafted into Pathanamthitta, which is a new constituency. Similarly, Mr. Chandrasekhar, even though he's from Kerala, he's practiced his politics, he's practiced his business in Bangalore for the last 20, 30 years. Just 3 or 4 weeks before the election, you've parachuted him in to fight a tough seat. It's not an easy seat in Thiruvananthapuram.
Yes.
All said and done, I mean, you can say 100 things are wrong about Shashi Tharoor, but he's a sitting MP. Because he's been there for the last 15 years.
Interestingly, a little bird tells me that sometime in late 2023 or mid 2023, Mr. Rajiv Chandrasekhar had clearly sent out his intent that he wants to contest Lok Sabha. But the decision was delayed whether he will be in Bangalore or whether he'll be in Kerala. And of course, time is of essence. Suresh Gopi, for that matter, never backed out of Thrissur. On ground, you can see in areas where he contested as an MLA, his constituency, he's done work there. Just quickly bringing in the Kerala vote matrix, and we'll take this forward, Rahul. Now, if you look at it historically, this is very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. The BJP's vote share, the green line is the UDF vote share and the red line is the LDF vote share. Now, the LDF vote share dips, the UDF goes up early on from 2004, 2009. Now, look at the BJP. The BJP at one point in 2004 had gone up to 12% vote share, but then came back into single digits here around, and then here it starts to go up, and then there is a dip back again in the 2021 assembly elections. The highest they have touched is about 15%, double digit. But in the assembly elections where they dipped overall to 12.4, there were some constituencies where they polled more than 30% vote share. Now that's where they believe that they can make some inroads. That includes Thrissur, that includes Attingal, that includes Thiruvananthapuram and Pathanamthitta. Now, can they do better? Now, if you look at this fight, look at the surge that the UDF got. Did it get it at the cost of the LDF in 2019? But then look at 2021. The UDF also goes up, the LDF also goes up. So that means there has been a fresh influx of votes that have gone up. Look at the LDF and the UDF. The UDF goes up by about 4% between 2019 and 2021, if I'm reading it correctly.
No, it's come down.
Actually, the other way around. So the LDF jumps and the UDF comes down. So there's a clear trade-off of these swing votes between the LDF and the UDF. So that's where it is. So this time around, if the BJP fights in this intensely fought battle where the LDF has got some amount of anti-incumbency, the UDF perhaps not on the wane, perhaps on the wane overall, with their MPs not getting the kind of purchase, anti-incumbency there, does the BJP have the ability to get to about 20%? If it does, then what happens? Now, take this conversation.
Well, let me just come in here on Kerala, and it's important to note this because geography can completely twist our perspective. Kerala is a place where the BJP has not been in contention. And if you look at the assembly, that graph that we just put out, if you look at the assembly, it's clearly not in a localized contest about Kerala. It's set. It is not really in the running. But if you look at the 2019 election, its vote share goes up to about 15%. Right? So that's one of the highest numbers it got over a period of time. Fundamentally, let's just bring that graph up. Fundamentally, you have to ask yourself this. Are we analyzing Kerala from the wrong prism right now? Yes, the BJP is trying to make inroads. Yes, it is trying to obviously pick up a couple of 3 seats. But this is a state for the Congress to lose. This is an election for the Congress to lose. If the Congress ends up losing 3 or 4 or 5 seats, look at the impact it's going to have on its
national tally. And also the conversation that is going to exit from Kerala. We keep saying, Narendra Modi and the BJP have maxed out in North India, 26 in Gujarat, 25 in Rajasthan. The Congress had 19 out of 20 in Kerala. If they don't repeat that performance...
the UDF does.
The UDF. It had 19 out of 20.
So what I'm trying to suggest is that this is an absolute must-win battle for Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party. If they even want to be counted amongst people who are driving forth the India alliance.
The 2 states that powered the Congress the last time around, Kerala and Punjab, both are in a state of flux. So where is the Congress going to make those numbers that will take it past 50
and
or 60, 70
that's why the
numbers?
nature of the fight in Kerala has become so personal. Look at what Rahul Gandhi said. I mean, if you're talking about coalition, dharma, federalism, this, that, the other, that underhand remark against the sitting chief minister saying that you should actually be in jail tells you the desperation with which the Congress is looking at Kerala. In fact, we are talking about KC Venugopal being brought in. That's the reason he was brought in. No chances. If they start losing here, well, it's going to be very tough.
Sumant Sitharaman is with us. Sumant Raman, the Thrissur Puram issue comes back, flares up just on the cusp of these, and it will have an effect on ground for the left. The Congress party was not there. Suresh Gopi was present there. I'm coming back to Thrissur because what happens in Thrissur? Nirmala Sitharaman, after casting a vote in Bangalore South, is speaking. Let's go across.
It is worth coming out. Choose your time. Come, please come. Do vote. India needs every vote.
Ma'am, what is the key poll planks that you think are fogging attention? In the last few days at least, it's been about inheritance tax between the parties. But what is top of mind for voters this election season?
I think they want continuity, they want stability. People want India to progress. And they've seen last 10 years. Last 10 years is performance of this government is definitely in the minds of the people. And therefore, I think that will be the one with which they've come to the booth. You can see the enthusiasm. Senior citizens in particular, I'm very grateful, have just come out of their homes and they are in long queues. They are not grudging. They are not saying, oh, it's taking too long. They are there. And some of them, I know the Election Commission, in fact, I'm grateful to the Election Commission. Election Commission has made a provision that they can vote from home. But despite that, inclusive of my parents, despite that, many senior citizens have chosen to come and be here, feel the pulse and cast their vote. I welcome that. I was also very happy to see a lot of one-time voters, the first-time voters, first-time voters who were here. I stood with them, had some pictures clicked. The enthusiasm among the senior citizens and enthusiasm among the young, the first-time voters is very encouraging.
Ma'am, Bengaluru South historically has had an abysmally low vote percentage. This time there's concern about the heat, plus it's a long weekend. What would your message be to people in the
No, I would want Bengaluru South also to set a record in terms of being good citizens, and I'm sure they're very good citizens and they would come this time out to vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Nirmala Sitharaman there urging everybody to come out and vote. Bengaluru South not returning very heavy, big figures, especially all of Bangalore has not been historically one that's turned out to vote. It's actually brought the state average down. This time Bengaluru do better, that's what we'd say. Let's go back to Kerala and then we'll come back to Bengaluru and south of Karnataka in just a bit. When we come back to Kerala, Sumant Sitharaman is with us. Sumant Raman, would you want to weigh in? Is it a truly three-cornered fight, tri-cornered fight? And do you think the BJP stands a chance to gain with the left and the UDF at loggerheads the way they are right now?
Yeah, Anand, I was in Kerala for 10 days ago, and the general perception that I got on the ground was there is a fairly strong anti-incumbency against the state government. I mean, that is perceptible everywhere. In fact, a cross-section of people I spoke to, they were dissatisfied with the state government. And, that is probably the sentiment. But as far as the BJP is concerned, I think you're right. I mean, if they have a chance of opening their account, it is likely to be only in Thrissur. The challenge in Thrissur is that's Mr. Muralidharan's home base, as it were. Though the family, Mr. Karnataka's family originally comes from the Kannur district, but for all practical purposes, they made Thrissur their home base. And, his house was there, his ancestral house, everything is basically in Thrissur. So the problem for Suresh Gopi is that he's not facing a lightweight opponent. He's facing a heavyweight opponent who's got significant clout, in the region. The other issues, as far as the other seats are concerned, I did not get the perception that, for instance, Trivandrum was in play at all. Trivandrum, Shashi Tharoor seemed to be quite comfortably ahead. I did not think that Trivandrum was going to be a contest. The other point in Thrissur that I wanted to make is there have been allegations by the UDF that the communists seem to have some kind of an understanding with Suresh Gopi, because the mayor of Thrissur, who's an LDF supported candidate, came out very strongly in support of Suresh Gopi, and then the party had to backtrack and get him to say, no, actually, that is not what he meant and stuff like that. So that immediately raised suspicions is everything above board? Is there some kind of underhand understanding which is going on in Thrissur? So these things have made Thrissur a much more promising prospect for the BJP than it might have been even 2-3
We just
months
had
back.
visuals. We just had visuals of Suresh Gopi coming out to cast his ballot, and he's wearing that yellow shirt, crisp yellow shirt.
Padmaja
is with
the BJP.
Is with
so,
the BJP.
I mean, to say that, look, there is some sort of an understanding between BJP, left, etc. I mean, you could then say there's an understanding even between
I'm
the
not saying
BJP
it,
and the
Rahul.
family.
I'm not saying it.
At
It
least
was-
one element
it
of
was
the
all
family.
over the
is not
media.
saying.
I'm
No,
not saying
I'm
it.
not
All
saying
over the
that.
local
I'm
media.
not
What
saying
was
you're
all
saying
over
it,
the
I'm just
local
generally
media is
speaking.
that the only person who was there, who was present there when this entire ruckus happened, late into the night and into the wee hours, was Suresh Gopi with the Thrissur Puram. The revenue minister of Kerala, who's supposed to be in charge, was missing. The IG had to come the next day. Muralidharan also stepped into it very late, K. Muralidharan, and when they made acquisitions. This trading of barbs between LDF and the UDF, Zaka, I'm just asking you, is this now, also there is another way to look at it. They've made it about themselves. They've moved the BJP out.
No, look,
that could
I
also
think
be
just
another
like in
strategy.
Tamil Nadu, Sumant knows this and he'll bear me out on this, the primary contest is always between DMK and ADMK. Here in Kerala also, for the last 50 years, the contest has always been between the LDF and the UDF. Now, where the BJP is trying to sort of make inroads in Kerala, look at these contests. Remember, in Kerala, the vote margins, even for a Lok Sabha election, could be in the range of 5,000 votes, 10,000 votes, the margin of victory. These are the seats. There are 11 out of 20 seats. Last time around, it was a UDF wave. Call it the Rahul Gandhi factor, the fact that he decided to contest from Wayanad or whatever it is. They won 19 out of 20 seats. Even in that, in 11 of those 20 seats, which the UDF won 9 to the LDF's 2, the LDF had a greater vote share. They had 39% vote share. The UDF had only 38. And the NDA had a higher vote share. Overall in the state, they had 15% vote share. In these seats, in these 11 seats, they had almost a 20% vote share. So these are the seats that the NDA is focused on, where the NDA candidate in the last election polled much more votes, significantly higher votes than the margin of victory
And can I
between the
just
LDF
make a
and the
point
UDF
here?
candidates. Yeah.
On this particular subject, the Congress safe seats, the ones that it has won all 3 times, are only 8.
Yep. Exactly.
So the Congress is actually not sitting on some dominant, huge bank of strongholds.
Yeah.
It is actually sitting quite tenuously on some of these seats.
And the fluctuation between the vote share is about a 10% vote share when it swings. We saw on that vote share between the LDF and the UDF. So there are some, and it's a combination of parties, small parties. And suddenly some segment moves away from you. There is some amount of dissonance that can be the difference between victory and defeat in a lot of these constituencies. All right, so Kerala, V. Muralidharan is standing in line in Thiruvananthapuram to cast his ballot. Those are pictures. He is the candidate from Athingal. It's a 3-cornered fight there too. This time around, both in Tamil Nadu and in Kerala, ladies and gentlemen, the BJP is focused on a few seats. They are not going across across all the seats and blanket coverage. Now, Nirmala Sitharaman speaking exclusively to News 18.
Rolling? Joining us right now, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. Ma'am, you've voted, but you've also seen a lot of senior citizens queuing up from 7 in the morning. Positive sign for a city like Bangalore with voter apathy?
Absolutely. South Bangalore, I will call upon with my resources mobilized in all my humility. I want people to come out, vote this time, and prove that senior citizens are going to lead us in opinion making and be there to perform as citizens. And I'm sure you can see the queue there. And very clearly, when people, and I also must credit a lot of first time voters, young voters are there standing in the queue. These are signs of people wanting a good government, and therefore they've come out. And it's a very good sign for the rest of us also to join forces and show that India needs a good democracy.
How do you see the narrative building up, ma'am? Archaic proposals like inheritance tax being discussed ahead of elections?
You said it is archaic. And it is because a party which has ruled this country for more than 40 years, the Congress party, has clearly lost all ideas. They don't have a solid proposal to take this country forward, and as a result they are not able to come up with proposals which will be worthy of discussion. But what they're coming up with is their hatred to the Prime Minister, hatred to his administration, which is proven efficient, which is proven that without corruption it is possible to run this country.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for speaking to us.
Madam, good governance, madam.
That was Nirmala Sitharaman making a strong pitch for her government. She's not contesting this time around. She continues to be a Rajya Sabha MP, and the reason why she was not asked to contest, one of the reasons, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that she is a Rajya Sabha MP from Karnataka. Had she relinquished the Rajya Sabha seat, it would have gone to the opposition. It would have been a Congress member who would have become the Rajya Sabha electee or appointee from Karnataka. So that seat was saved. She, along with Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar, are the two people, I think, out of the top who are not contesting the elections this time around, and they continue to retain their Rajya Sabha membership. Hardeep Puri is another person who's not contesting, but largely most of them have been thrown into the thick of the action, saying go down and get elected from the people, and this seems to be a strategy of the BJP going forward. Let's look at Bangalore, since we are in Bangalore and in Karnataka, South Karnataka. Smita Prakash, how much of it is at stake for the BJP JDS combined versus the Congress party? How do you see this? Let's try and wake you up this morning a little at Talk of Karnataka.
Well, Bangalore South. Yes, I was there a couple of days back in Bengaluru South. I toured the area. It is a BJP stronghold. Tejasvi Surya is quite the favorite, but then he has Suma Reddy against him, and she's not exactly something that somebody who has taken for granted. He's worked hard out there, but as you know that her father is Ramalinga Reddy, so he's making sure that the support base, the Andhra support base for her comes, because there are a number of Telugu speaking people who live in Bengaluru, who work in Bengaluru, vote in Bengaluru, and being an adjacent state also that there you have that Andhra Karnataka area, so there's a lot of support which has come in, a lot of ground workers who've come in to work against Tejasvi Surya and for Suma, but Tejasvi Surya, it's also a BJP stronghold out there. Anant Kumar has he has nurtured the constituency, so for I think since 1996 or something, BJP hasn't lost in that area. And they fielded him before in 2019, they fielded him again, and they've had so many people, bigwigs coming and campaigning, whether it was Jaishankar, whether it is the finance minister, they've all come and campaigned for him. So Tejasvi, he's run a campaign which is like vote for Modi all over again, but he's been having a winning streak in Bengaluru. He's got the young voters enthused about him. So his team is very young. He's been going from one residency, one colony to the next colony. People voicing very vocally the problems that they're having, local issues like water, sanitation, all these things, and roads, not potholed roads. These are local issues which are playing out, and Modi is a factor in South Bengaluru which you cannot deny. It's a very Hindu strong area. Modi is a huge factor, so whoever you go and talk to, they say Modi ko vote, Modi ke vote martave. It is a Modi beku, we want Modi in the area, and Tejasvi they feel is somebody who will fulfill the issues. Like his speech is all about, he tells them that how he's brought a consulate, US consulate, so that for visa issues you don't need to go to Chennai, you don't need to go to the US to Delhi, you can get it done. So he seems somewhere where
so Prakash, just asking you quickly,
so hopefully the Vokaliga vote.
Shobha Karandalaje against Rajiv Gowda, how do you see that fight? And also in the Mysore Mandya region, the BJP JDS combined, will it work this time around? 3 seats where the Kumaraswamy clan is fighting this time.
Yeah,
your
I just want
thoughts
to, highlight those seats. Those are the 3 seats that the BJP did not win. Look at the map. I mean, it's a sea of saffron last time around. The only 3 seats where the BJP did not win, Hassan Prajwal Revanna of the JDS is a sitting MP. There is a lot of anti-incumbency against him. There are videos, I believe, that are circulating of some slightly high-handed behavior by him, his mom, etc. There was the neighbouring seat of Mandya, very prestigious. SM Krishna hails from Mandya. Mandya used to be the heartland as far as the Congress's Vokaliga politics was concerned at one generation ago. Mandya, the sitting MP, Sumalata Ambarish, the widow of the late Ambarish, she was denied a ticket. She joined the BJP. She's not very happy with the fact that H.D. Kumaraswamy is contesting from Mandya. And then there is the neighbouring seat, which again is a high-profile battle, D.K. Suresh's seat. He's the brother of the sitting Deputy Chief Minister, D.K. Shiv Kumar. He's up against C.N. Manjunath, Dr. Manjunath, who's the son-in-law of Deve Gowda. And these 3 seats, to me, will show whether this JDS-BJP alliance will work on the ground. Because fundamentally, and Rahul, you can weigh in on this, the BJP for many, many years, perhaps because of Yediyurappa, perhaps, for other factors as well, has been seen as a Lingayat-dominated party in the state of Karnataka. It's never been seen as a Vokaliga party. And also because they've never really had big, tall Vokaliga leaders, the BJP in Karnataka.
Yeah.
But this time around, a Lingayat party working with a Vokaliga party will cadre on the ground, the talmel, as they say. Will it actually work on the ground? I think these 3 seats will give you a window into that.
Roughly about 2% voter turnout overall till 8 a.m. Just calling that out. Those numbers are at the bottom of our screen. Yes, Rahul, continue.
Okay, let me just flip this. Last time you had the Congress and the JDS
and
together.
it didn't work.
And it didn't work. It didn't work because of the same reason.
Yeah.
That there is fundamentally a lack of chemistry. Now remember, in this particular case, JDS is fighting an existential battle.
Absolutely.
Okay. It is not the superset in this seat either, it is a subset. They are hoping that the Modi factor will catapult them. I think they're reconciled to the fact that they've lost the Muslim vote, given the fact that Mr. Deve Gowda has made this leap of faith, literally, into the Bharatiya Janata Party. But I just want to put this in a larger context. This entire clash in Karnataka, there is a lot of statistics that need to be really rationalized here. The BJP hasn't gone down less than 15 seats since, I think, 1999, if I'm not mistaken. So we've never gone down beyond that threshold. South Bangalore, you were just talking about it. Yes, Brahmin dominated to a great extent, etc., etc. There itself, I think the only time that the BJP lost that particular seat after 1977 was, I think, in 1999, if I'm not mistaken, or 1988.
89. Because since 96, they've not lost that seat.
1989 is the only time they lost it. Apart from that, you have several other bastions. So I think the issue here is not the need of the JDS. JDS is not in the ticket, it's Modi, and even before Modi, the BJP has done fantastically well in Karnataka.
Interesting to see in these 3
south.
seats what's the margin of victory, because if you look at the vote share on the wall, ladies and gentlemen, it's nearly 60% for the NDA.
Yeah.
Now the others, which is about 9%, was in this belt, and that's where the Congress JDS were working together the last time around. So the JDS, so the Congress 31% is inclusive of the JDS vote which came in the last time around. So that will also erode, and it will all add to the NDA.
Yes, and don't also forget that there is a little bit of misgivings amongst Vokaligas entirely, because there's also a census that is being held back, and you've had Mr. D.K. Shivkumar publicly come out and say that don't quite agree with this. But look,
Shobha Karandalaje is a strong Vokaliga face, and she's moved from North Karnataka right into the heart of all the politics in Bengaluru. Sumant Raman, quick word on Bengaluru and South Karnataka before we take another break. Yes, Sumant.
In today's constituencies which are going to the polls today, I see about 5 or 6 seats which are in the fray. Bangalore, I don't really expect the India Alliance or the Congress to have any chance, because Bangalore, particularly South Bangalore, is a hardcore BJP seat. If the BJP stutters in South Bangalore, then that's awful news for them. But I don't think that will happen. It may be a close fight. Soumya Reddy is a good candidate, but I'm not too sure that if Tejasvi Surya, look, the sentiment in South Bangalore is that Tejasvi Surya is not a great MP, but we will vote for Mr. Modi. So I think that that's the sentiment that is prevailing through South Bangalore. The seats which are virtually no contest, Dakshin Kannada, Udupi, Chikmagalur, these are BJP bastions. They are going to win anyway. It's only a question of what is the margin. But there are several seats which are in the fray. Hassan, for instance, where Prajwal Revanna, as you rightly mentioned, there is a lot of anti-incumbency. There are some videos which are floating around in the last few days, and there's now a complaint which has been given and so on. So that seat, and he is facing Shreyas Patel, who's the Congress candidate, who's the grandson of Puttaswamy Gowda, who defeated Deve Gowda on at least a couple of occasions. So I think that that's a very, very crucial seat that we are not really focusing enough on, because there's no BJP candidate there. But that is one seat. The other areas, places like, Chitradurga, Kolar, these are places which are in the fray. They are not done deals by any stretch of imagination in this phase. The seat that you're watching now, DK Suresh is favored to win. Dr. Manjunath has a problem. He himself has said, look, they told me to contest on a BJP ticket, so I'm contesting on a BJP ticket. He is actually now a BJP candidate there, and he's not a JDS candidate, though he is the son-in-law of Mr. Devegowda. So there are a lot of issues there are at least 5 or 6 seats which are in the fray today in Karnataka, and let me tell you, they include, for instance, Bangalore rural, where the Congress is strongly favored, Chikbalapur, which is a contest, Kolar, which is a contest, Chitradurga, which is a contest, and one doesn't even know that there are some local reports that Tumkur and Mandya could be contests as well. So, and there is generally a disillusionment to the JDS. They knew it very well. Had they gone alone, potentially they would have been routed. That is why they had to sort of tie up with the BJP.
As it may. Dr. Aman, be that as it may, there is also something else, which is the elephant in the room that has been resurrected by the Bharatiya Janata Party in the last 3 or 4 months. And that is really a slight tilt towards polarization. And you have had a number of issues that have actually occupied the mind space. And I don't think the Congress has handled them very well.
The Neha murder case.
The Neha murder case, the sloganeering, and then of course the strange sort of flip-flop or, ambivalence on the blast. I think that's all going to play out.
Even the reservation issue, all of this, that was quite a bit of a heady mix there. But the vote share gap that the Congress and the INDI alliance has to bridge is huge. It's nearly 30% vote share. That is without the JDS. Now the JDS is also not there as far as the INDI. So how are you going to do that? Last time around the JDS was with the INDI alliance, and that even then it was a 30% vote share. Now the JDS has moved out. Now how are you going to bridge that?
JDS gets a lot of Muslim vote, Anand, and that Muslim vote.
What I'm trying to say is that even that JDS, let's say that say 50% of the JDS's vote is Muslim votes. Even that, if it comes back to the Congress party, they still have a 30% gap to bridge, because there will be another 50% of the Hindu votes that will move to the BJP with your logic to be applied. So then that gap remains the same 30% vote share. But in certain key pockets like these 3 seats, if that becomes a game changer, it could be nothing for the INDI alliance. Where you are hoping for something, it could be nothing as far as this number says. We've got to take a break. We'll stay with this. We'll stay with this. Have to take a short break. Stay with us.
At the Ratibar village in Bhopal district, we have caught up with a group of women to try and understand what their issues are this election season. अम्मा ये बताइए, आप ससुराल है ये गांव आपका, शादी हो?
इनकी भी ससुराल, मेरी भी ससुराल, और जे हमारी दुल्हन है इनकी ससुराल और जे की ससुराल।
अच्छा, तो आप जब शादी होकर इस गाँव में आई, तब से लेकर अब तक पानी की समस्या आप लोगों की कैसी रही है?
सही पानी की समस्या है, हमने शुरू से ऐसी देखी, क्योंकि हम जहाँ भागनो पानी का पानी नहीं मिले। अब अभी बोर है गई, में से थोड़ा बहुत पानी भरा और फुर्सत कहाँ भागे आप?
ये बड़े बड़े ड्रम्स जो यहाँ रखे हुए हैं, ये ड्रम आपको पानी भर के रखना पड़ता है, खुद जाती है भरने के लिए? कितनी दूर?
तो हमें तो जहाँ भर बेकार, अब तो घरे नल आने लगे, अब वे उतने ही यहाँ नल तो थोड़े बहुत ही, हम लोग खर्चे ही नहीं पूरा हो पा।
आपके यहाँ तो मैंने देखा पाइप लगा हुआ है, अब शुरू हो गए नल?
जरूर पानी वो तो यहाँ सोई है,
मगर पानी बस 10 मिनट चलता है, 10-20 मिनट, इतना भी, इतने से ज्यादा नहीं चलता है।
तो पानी की समस्या है?
पानी की तो बहुत ज्यादा है इस गाँव में, पानी के लिए बहुत भटकना पड़ता है।
अच्छा, बिजली
भी आती जाती रहती,
बट रहती है?
बिजली तो खूब रही है,
बिजली
तो अच्छे से है। अच्छा। अब वो तो कोई काम चले जब तो वो बिजली जा रही है, वरना बिजली तो 24 घंटा रही।
अच्छा, और दूसरा, आपके गांव में, आपके बच्चे तो खैर छोटे हैं, बट गांव में जो लड़के लड़कियां 12वीं तक पढ़ गए हैं या कॉलेज तक पढ़ गए हैं, उनको नौकरियां मिल जाती हैं आसानी से?
नहीं मिलती।
तो क्या करते हैं?
नहीं मिल रही भाई, 3 मेरे ही बैठे,
कोई प्राइवेट जॉब कर लेता है, कोई कुछ कर लेता है, कोई जॉब कर लेता है, कोई कुछ कर लेता है, कोई टीचर बन जाता है 2-2 2.5 हजार में यहीं पे, बस यही होता है।
नौकरी नहीं मिलती।
किस तरह की नौकरियां ढूंढते हैं वो लोग? सरकारी ढूंढते हैं या प्राइवेट से भी खुश रहते हैं?
ढूंढते तो सरकारी है पर मिलती नहीं है ना।
पर प्राइवेट नौकरी वो मिल जाती है?
वो भी नहीं मिलती, कर लेते पर जुगाड़ लग जाती है।
कहीं को कॉलेज में जा रहा, कहीं को कहीं जा रहा, यहाँ से हो तो रही है,
मजदूरी कर रहा। हाँ,
मतलब पढ़े लिखे बच्चे भी जिन्होंने 12वीं किया हुआ या कॉलेज किया हुआ वो मजदूरी कर रहे हैं।
10वीं 12वीं सब ऐसे ही कर रहा है।
कोई ने डेयरी खोल ली दूध की, ऐसे करते।
अब तो कर कुछ धंधो तो करेगा भी।
ये बताइए, थोड़े दिनों पहले शिवराज सिंह चौहान जो जिनको आप सब लोग मामा जी कहते हैं, उन्होंने एक लाडली बहना योजना शुरू की थी। उसका कितना लाभ मिलता है आपको? मिलता है कुछ पैसा आपको?
हमें नहीं मिले, बिल नहीं मिले हमें। तो मिले नहीं, अपन पेंशन मिलेगी तो अभी तो मिलेगी। तो अभी नहीं मिली, तुमने फॉर्म नहीं भरो। अभी सब कुछ कर रहा है।
अच्छा, आपको नहीं मिली?
नहीं मिली,
आपको अभी तक पैसा नहीं
मिली,
पर आपको मिला है?
हमें सब मिल रहा है, पेंशन मिल रही है हमरे कहा जी, और ये लाडली बहना नहीं मिल रहा है पैसा।
आपको जी मिल रहा है लाडली बहना?
हमें 600 रुपए मिल रहे हैं।
कितने आते हैं? 1250 आते हैं। और आप लोगों के बैंक अकाउंट पे आते हैं?
जी।
अच्छा, बीच में ये बात कही गई थी कि वो 1250 रुपए जो है वो बढ़ा दिए जाएंगे, तो आपको इस बारे में उम्मीद है कि बढ़ जाएगा या इतने में?
तो पहले 1000 आया 12।
Arun ji, this is a new inning that you are playing, and what is the message in the beginning that you would want to give to the voters today in your constituency?
मेरा कहना सिर्फ इतना है, मेरी जो निवेदन है वो यही है कि वोट सभी को डालना चाहिए। वो हमारा कर्तव्य है, हमारा अधिकार है, उसका प्रयोग हमें ज़रूर करना चाहिए। लोकतंत्र के लिए ये बहुत ज़रूरी है।
You've been traveling across मेरठ, आप हर जगह घूम रहे हैं, किस तरह की चुनौतियां हैं? क्या ऐसी लोगों से बातचीत आपको हुई जो आपको पता चला कि ये सब चीज़ें मेरठ के लिए ज़रूरी हैं, जो आपके टेन्योर में इम्पोर्टेंट रहेंगी?
देखिए, आज हम उस विषय पर चुनौतियों की बात हम आज ना करें, आज है बात वोट डालने की। तो अभी मैं निकलूँगा और बूथों पर भी भ्रमण करूँगा, देखूँगा सब ठीक चल रहा है, इंस्पायर होंगे लोग मुझे देखकर। तो आज हम इतनी ही बात करें तो ज़्यादा अच्छा है। चुनौतियों की बात तो जब हम आगे मिलेंगे तब फिर हम करें।
और जो राजेंद्र अग्रवाल यहाँ से पहले सांसद थे, किस तरह का सपोर्ट आपको उनका मिला या बाकी जो और वरिष्ठ नेता हैं यहाँ पर भाजपा के?
नहीं, सपोर्ट सभी का मिला है और राजेंद्र अग्रवाल जी का सपोर्ट मुझे बहुत मिला है। उन्होंने जिस सहज भाव से मेरा स्वागत किया है, आई एम रियली थैंकफुल टू हिम।
अतुल जी, हमारी बात हुई थी जब कैंपेन की आपकी शुरुआत हुई थी। आज वोटिंग का दिन है, आज परीक्षा का दिन है, क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
मैं तो यही कहना चाहूँगा कि देश सेवा का सबसे अच्छा अवसर है ये, कि जब आप खुद का वोट देते हैं और लोगों का वोट दिलाते हैं, तो देश सेवा के लिए लोगों को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा मतदान कराने के लिए समय भी देना चाहिए।
आप सुबह सुबह खुद पहुंचे, सबसे पहले आपने इस बूथ पे वोट दिया। वोटिंग परसेंटेज गाजियाबाद में हमेशा एक बहुत बड़ा मुद्दा रहा है, लोग निकलते नहीं हैं वोट देने के लिए, साल दर साल वोटिंग परसेंटेज भी कम होती जाती है। इस बार क्या मैसेज देना चाहेंगे लोगों को जिससे वो घर से बाहर निकले और वोट डालें?
हमारे यहाँ सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम ये है कि एक मेट्रोपॉलिटन सिटी के नज़दीक है, बहुत लोग यहाँ पर ट्रांसफ़र होकर के आते जाते रहते हैं। मेरे को ये अनुमान बताया गया है कि 20 से 25% वोट ऐसा है बहुत सारे कॉलोनियों में कि जहाँ वोटर जा चुका है, वो कटना बाकी रह गया है, तो उसके कारण भी मतदान कम दिखाई देता है।
जितनी मेहनत की गई आपके